All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the game between IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club 1 and Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club right here at the University of Lagos Cricket Oval. It's the first game of match week 4 of the 2022-2023 GBOLAHAN YISHAWU Lagos Cricket League CCC. That is the club cricket committee, and as you can see, it's going to be a very lovely game today, as we have the two captains of both sides, Mustafa Yusuf of IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club, who is currently on his yellow jersey, and Okwe, who has taken mentorship of the captaincy of Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club. And you have the umpires for today as Wale Adekoya and Kehinde Olabiwanu. It's a T20 format, and we will be having both sides slug it out to see who goes top of the league. And just a quick run out, and that's the toss taken by Okwe, and Mustafa has called, and I think Isaac won the toss, and what would he be doing first? So we have it there. Okwe won the toss, and they would be batting first, as you can see from the signal by Mustafa Yusuf signaling to his side that they would be bowling. So we have it, GCI, that is Government College, but the Old Boys Cricket Club would be going into the field to bat, and IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club will be fielding first. So we'll be having the two games today. The first game is what we're seeing, which is IBEJU versus GCI, and the next game will be Foundation Cricket Club versus Ibadan Metropolitan Cricket Club, IMCC. I remain your host for today, Abayomi Ayonusi. Shehu Ajidagba would be joining me later on in the commentary box, as we'll be running through the game together. Before the game starts, we'll take you through the team list of both sides, and after that we would commence the game. Start time is 10 o'clock, so if I were you, I would get the popcorns ready and get my seats in a comfortable zone. If you're supporting GCI, you definitely know it's going to be a cracker between both sides. See you soon. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and the game has just started. The first ball of the ball being bowled by Mustafa Yusuf has gone for a wide ball. It's Tunde Ayinde facing, and he has with him Lukman, who is at the non-striker's end. The bowler for bowling at the Iwaya end is Mustafa Yusuf, running into bowl to Tunde Ayinde. Would that be also be another wide? Two white bowls bowled already. Just like I said, it's a T20 format between IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club and Government College IBADAN Old Boys Cricket Club. Both sides have played each other, and they are regarded as the greatest rivalry in Nigerian cricket in terms of club. Very well pushed from Tunde Ayinde towards backward of points, picked up by Hussein Prosper for a single. Lukman now on strike. The big question is this: IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club had 3 players being moved from their side to other clubs. That's Suleiman Rusewe, who is the traditional wicket keeper, and also you had Elijah Monday, and their all-rounder Sheson Adedeji have both left the club to play with another. So I beg your pardon, Elijah Olaleye, picked up by Hussein. That should be a bye, if I'm correct. Bye it is, a signal there by umpire Olabiwanu Kehinde. Everybody knows that this game is going to be a very, very interesting one. And GCI would be asking themselves, can they break the deadlock between GCI and IBEJU LEKKI? Both sides had played a total of 15 games all in all, and GCI has only won 4, and they've tied 3, and you could guess the rest. But what runs through most GCI's players' mind will be that final, that in which they won 3 trophies: the knockout stage, the league, and also the T20 format, by beating IBEJU LEKKI at the finals. Very well bowled for Mustafa Yusuf and very well played by Lukman. Playing forward defensive is all you need all through this game. 20 overs, it's a long game, but anything could happen. Match officials for today: Kehinde Olabiwanu standing, and the striker's end umpire is Wale Adekoya. 2 more balls to be bowled. Very well bowled for Mustafa. Good comeback from him, ensuring that the runs doesn't keep ticking. But GCI will be looking to score at least above 150 to have a chance of winning this game. Straight to Ajeku at covers, with 1 more ball to be bowled in the over. The sun is out, and we definitely will be having a game of cricket today. And that brings us to the end of the first over, ladies and gentlemen. And after the end of the first over, GCI has 6 runs on board for the loss of no wicket in the first over. Who will be bowling the second over for IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club? Would it be Prosper Hosseini? definitely going to be Prosper Husseini coming into both Nigerian international, both at the national and just concluded on the 19th tournament. He is an experienced bowler, both for country and club. So he'll be looking to try and break this partnership between Tunde Ayinde and Lukman. Ooh, very well bowled. Appeal for a nick, but the wicketkeeper dropped that catch. Good start from Prosper Husseini. Very well bowled from the young lad. Asking question from the very first ball. It's a big top call now. Ooh, very well played again from Tunde Ayinde, allowing that to go. See what the ball is doing before he decides to take a decision on either to attack or just let it go. It's the end of the second over, and GCI are 8 for the loss of no wicket after 2 overs. Just 2 runs conceded in that particular over. Very good over from Prosper Husseini, cutting off the run rate, which initially GCI was looking to capitalize at 6 per over. But now, would Mustafa Yusuf be able to return back to come back from the initial 6-run spell he had in the first over? Good comeback from Mustafa Yusuf, ensuring that Lukman does not have any response to what he's bowling. Quickly, let me run you through the team list of both sides. For Government College Ibadan, we have Isaac Okwe as the captain, Ayinde Babatunde as the vice captain, Kofowo Burola Lukman. Very well flicked off the pads from Lukman. Would that race all the way to the boundary for 4? No, good pick up there by Ifeanyi Solomon, the under-19 player being picked by IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club. So Koforo Lukman was the one who played that shot all the way to square leg for 2. You have Ademola Onikoyi, Okwe Isaac, Jimo Abdul Rahman. You have Adewoye Vincent, Ubo Ifeanyi. You have Monday Elijah, Ogunbayo Dayo, Odeku Oluwaseun, white ball being bowled, and the 12th man is Kehinde Becky. For IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club, you have Akachuku Chima, Sheye Olympio, Oyede Leke, Adeyonju Sheun, Ajeku Daniel, Abdul Karim Ridwan, Isiak Audu, Mustafa Yusuf, Hussein Prosper, and Anima Shao Muyes, and the 11th man is Solomon. Good shots from Lukman. 2 runs still taken again. And the 12th man for IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club is Taiwo Mohammed. I have with me here my brother from another mother who ran commentary at the under-19 qualifiers at Abuja, and is right here again with us in city of Lagos. Sheun, good morning.
Good morning, wonderful cricketers viewing the game all over the world. It's a wonderful Saturday morning, October 15, 2022. What a game of cricket we are witnessing here at the Unilag Cricket Oval. And about me, coincidentally, the first game of last season was IBEJU versus GCI. It was a mismatch based on how IBEJU ran GCI ragged. There are some few changes that have happened from both GCI and IBEJU. You can arguably say these are the 2 most successful sides in the open era. The last time they played each other was December 11, 2021. That was the opening game of the season right here. And GCI are playing their first game of the season. And this is the second game for the defending champion, who went unscathed last season. Nobody could touch them. They went unbeaten. What a game we have on our hands.
You're definitely right, Sean. What a game we have on our hands. And currently it's 2 overs gone and the total runs on board. So apologies, 3 overs gone, 13 runs. GCI very well played from Tunde Ayinde. Just knew that there was no second slip and just played it away from first slip and allowed it to just go. The voice you could hear from the background is the groundsman right here.
There are a few changes that have happened from both teams. For GCI, this is not the opening pair that we used to know. This is not the opening pair that we used to know. It used to be Tunde Ayinde, who is no longer the captain, now down to the other brother of the captain of the national team, Isaac Okwe.
I was just running through the changes IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club had before you came into the commentary box, showing that IBEJU LEKKI had 3 players moved to another club, that's Sheson Adedeji, Elijah and Sulaiman Rusewe. The same also did apply to GCI. Joshua Ayonake is not with the side anymore. that's technically the only player they have lost in the side for this season. Tayo Atoloye also, who is currently having his cricketing training outside the country as well. Very well played down the line by Lukman. 1 run is 1 run, show.
Yeah. One thing is for sure, in the game of T20, you need to take advantage of the power play. No disrespect to this current IBEJU side, they look like a team that don't really scare you, unlike what we used to know those good old days. When I mean don't really scare you is, of course, you know that you have a Sheson Adedeji, an all-rounder who has gone to Island Titans Cricket Club. You know you have an opening bat, a steady opening bat in Sulaiman Rushewe, who last season was awesome with his bat, and you need things like that. Then you know you have an Elijah Olaleye, who on his day could constitute a positive nuisance in the batting crease. These are 3 batters. One is an all-rounder in Sheson Adedeji, vastly experienced national team player. Sulaiman Rushewe could work for you as a batter and also a wicket keeper, and the last person in Elijah Olaleye could also do that job for you. So these are guys who have added quality to the side. Muiz Anima Shaun, under 19 player, good player also. And to show you how difficult things are for IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club, the defending champion, they had to bring back the guys who we thought had called time on cricket career. Sheye Olympio is an expert in conditioning training with the various national team. Lekki Oyede is the coach of the female national team. They call them the female yellow greens. These guys didn't play last season because they felt they were busy with other jobs that they don't want it to mix with the game of cricket. So they've gone into more of administration and coaching, but they are back in the squad now. They are quality players, former national team players. I don't know, maybe they are still interested in the national team anymore, but these guys have something that they bring to the table, and this is going to be a very, very good game, no doubt. First game for Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club. Their first game should have been against Ibadan Metropolitan Cricket Club, but unfortunately God has to tell us that, hey, I'm God.
I was just about to say
that. I decide what I want to do.
I was just about to say that, that it's technically not GCI's first game. It's just GCI's first game being played. They played the first game, but it was point shared due to, just like you said, the weather. But this is the first game they are playing on the field of play, and thank God for the weather.
No, what the point I was trying to drive at is it could have been the Ibadan Derby, newly promoted Ibadan Metropolitan Cricket Club against supposedly their elder brother.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is rain did not allow us to play. So this is like the first time GCI will be holding the bats to play or play the game of cricket. The last time they played, Yomi, if my memory serves me right, was May this year, because the league ended on the 22nd of May at the Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval. So this is their first game, and they don't look like a team that is rusty.
The big question I keep asking is this, Sheon, as we have it on the screen, Chuma Akachukwu coming in to replace Mustafa Yusuf, very well played by Tunde Ayinde, who is putting on his traditional too. The big question I keep asking, Sheon, and I've asked it last season, I've asked it 2 seasons ago, and I'll keep asking until I see a team change the momentum, is who can defeat IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club, or what does a team have to do to defeat this IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club as a unit itself?
When you bat, you post good runs, and when I mean good run is you do nothing less than 200, and when you bowl very well. That is the only way. Good shots from Koforola Lukman, fantastic from the wicket keeper of the side, and things have changed. Like I said, for both teams, there was no Koforola Lukman the last time out. It used to be Joshua Ayonaike, who is out of the country now, and now we have Muiz Animashaun, the new wicket keeper for IBEJU, because there's no Sulaiman Rushewe.
Very well played. Even after playing that boundary, still played it in the V. Mustafa Yusuf couldn't hold on to that. And 1 run taken. You could see Lukman came all the way from Government College IBADAN, Ugeli, Federal Government College Ugeli, to his technically his hometown, IBADAN, which is Government College IBADAN, because he is from Oyo State. So it's more like he's playing at home rather than play away.
That shot he played, I'm sure AB De Villiers will be proud of him. That was a lovely drive that nothing could happen except that 1 run taken. And these are the kind of things you need, that you have your batters taking those advantages of the singles, dictating the pace on the field, and not necessarily the bowlers dictating for you. They are doing well. The duo of Tunde Ayinde and Koforola Lukman, and you can say here that
26 runs on board, still no loss of wickets.
26 for no loss, and
5 overs.
So my poor mathematics just simply says that they are just like 5.0 the current run rate, which is good. So, but I'm sure they have an opportunity to step it up again when the other guys come in.
I was about to say that this is the last over of the power play.
Yes.
A lot of people would have said Sunday and Lukman should have taken more advantage. You've only scored 1 boundary in this whole campaign in the power play, which means they've only scored 24 runs with their foot. They've only played 24 runs with their foot, and it means they're not taking proper advantage of the power play.
You take advantage of a team that is not doing well. Question you have to ask yourself, Yomi, are IBEJU bowling well? You want to say yes, they bowl tidy. And when they bowl tidy and they field very well, you have to be very, very careful. You can see how they are throwing it into the leg. It's more like a Yorker thing. So you have to be very, very careful to play those shots. And when they field, sometimes they aim the wicket, because it's about constant practice. It becomes a part of them. While I agree with you that you have to take advantage of the power play, you do that when the bowlers are not doing well and the fielders are not complementing the effort of the bowlers. But look at how they are bowling. They are bowling very well. Friday, who bowled the first ball of this over was a wide, but
it wasn't Friday, it was Mustafa Yusuf.
The bowler bowling now. Yes, so I'm saying that
Isiaka. Oh, okay, yes, Isiaka.
Well, I'm confused. Isiaka Audu is sporting on jersey number 7.
Looks like Friday.
Yeah. But that was what was written at the back of his jersey. It must have been kudos to this. Yes, Ramal Adelakun, wicket keeper, scorer, everything, all rounder. But you know, sometimes when you have love for money, you retire at a very tender age. So it's focused more on the officiating. Remember, we interviewed him at the Tafawa Balewa Credo, and he opened up on how his journey to umpiring started, and he's one of the guys we are all looking out for, hoping that one day, someday, like I was mentioning those guys in Abuja, that was last week, the likes of Andrew Lowe from Namibia, I know Chabi from Zimbabwe, Sean George, 2015 umpire from South Africa, Isaac Oyeko from Kenya, David Odiambo, and of course our own Kennedy Olabuonu was also there to strut his stuff. Fantastic umpire he is, and Habib Amoto NSC. So we are hoping that one day, someday, when ICC are having tournaments, we'll be having names like Ramon Adelakun, because we can't continue to have the Kennedy Olabuonus and the Habib all the time. At some point in time, they will call time on their career. So we need a wonderful succession.
Up in the air. Redwan Abdul Karim couldn't get to that, but that went straight all the way to Ajeku, who's at point. I thought Ridwan would have taken a dive just like he did at the under 19, but I probably guess he had a different motive.
That dive, so people tag me on social media that we don't care about the height of Ridwan Abdulkarim. He should replace Maduka Okoye as Super Eagles goalkeeper.
Exactly.
That was an awesome catch, and that was a turning point. Oh,
very well played. You don't bowl to the pads.
Yeah, that looks like an Ayivo kind of shot. Dr. Mike Ayivo, the glance. But you have to credit Isiaka Audu. He's throwing the ball into their legs, and they are finding it difficult. And I will not blame them that much for not being able to take advantage of the power play.
6 overs gone, 30 runs on board, still no loss of 1 wicket, no wickets. If you were the batting coach of IBEJU, of Government College Ibadan Old Boys, what would be your game plan at this point?
6 overs gone, 30 runs on board. We are still on 5 per over.
Yes, please.
We need to take it 1 notch higher. That means that by 10 overs, we must be on 65-70.
Bear in mind, you still have strong hitters.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes. So I'm saying that guys just keep your wicket like you're keeping your wicket. But in the next 10 overs, we must be on 70. That should be the calculation.
A wicket has just been lost. Chima Akachukwu has just broken the deadlock and the partnership between Lukman and Tunde Ayinde. Tunde Ayinde has just lost his wicket, and GCI after 6 overs has 30 for 1 with Onikoye Ademola coming in. You've talked about the batting side. Now, what would have been your strategy if you were the fielding side's coach?
The strategy is simple. Keep bowling the wickets. Keep ensuring that they dot the balls. You don't need dot balls when you are playing a T20. So even if you are not getting the wicket, just keep giving us those dot balls and make things uncomfortable for the batters.
Now you have a new batter on strike who is by the name Onikoye Ademola. The big question is this: we know him for a big hitter. You've seen him play both local and international. So I'm yet to see him play at the foreign soil because I haven't had time to really travel out with the team itself. But you know how dangerous this man is. Chima Akachukwu bowls it deep into the leg. Do you think what Chima needs to do is continue to bowl it there, or just change the strategy and set Onikoye Ademola up?
The two of them they are familiar foes. They know each other so well. Former teammates at IBEJU, player for the Yellow Greens, the national team, had trial sessions severally, so he has seen him up close and personal. He knows what Chima can do. Chima is also very deadly with the ball, same as Onikoye. Onikoye is too dangerous that on his day he can single-handedly wreck a team. He holds the highest number of runs in a one-day game, 218. So don't bet against this batter that can constitute a positive nuisance in the batting crease.
Positive nuisance, Shehu said. And now Chima Akachukwu to Onikoye played straight towards back of the point, picked up by the new signing of IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club, who moved all the way from St. Gregory's Old Boys Cricket Club to his side. This young lad was trained by Leke Oyede. It's more like all Leke's progeny are currently on the field of play. His name is Muiz.
Fantastic. Like Leke, like Blessing Etim.
Exactly.
The captain of the female Yellow Greens. The female Yellow Greens have had 4 captains. The first captain was from Ogun State. Her name eludes me now, but I'm sure I'm going to recover and remember her name. Blessing Etim became the next captain, and yes, Azizat, I remember. Adegboyega Azizat, thank you very much, ex-international Yemi Adegbola, a cricket family. When I remember the Adegbolas, names like the only difference between the Adegbolas and a family in Rwanda is that they don't have a female that went on to play for the national team. But talk about Yemi, national team player, talk about Kule, former captain of the national team player. Talk about B. So I saw B in Abuja, fantastic guy, great guy, doing very well, still plays game of cricket. It's a cricketing family. And the same thing you want to say about a family in Rwanda. The captain of the female team of Rwanda, Bimeimana Maridiani, is the captain. They also have the brother who is an opening bowler for the national team, their male national team, Joseph Bimeimana. And at the under-19 competition that Nigeria hosted, the captain of the under-19 Rwandan team is also from the Bimeimana family. His own name was even jaw-breaking. Guess what? His name is Ivan De Paul Vincent Bimeimana, captain of the under-19 team. They finished third in Nigeria's group. So, like I said, Bimeimana, like Adegbola family, fantastic.
After 7 overs, ladies and gentlemen, it's 1 wicket, 33 runs. The run rate shown has dropped to 4.71. With the way we're looking at it, Government College might end up below 100 if they continue at 4.71 to the end of the over, to the end of the inning. And now this is what I'm talking about. Ridwan Abdul Karim, obviously we knew he was going to bowl at the crunch time, which is at this point in time, because you know that IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club knows very well that GCI are going to want to up the game and try as much as possible to put up at least 170, 180 to have a defendable score. So, Ridwan Abdul Karim, Nigerian under-19 captain, now to bowl. He is bowling to someone he has always said that no matter how much he stays on the field, he is definitely going to bowl his wicket all the time. Onikoye Ademola.
Well, bowler versus batter. Definitely one person would conquer. Yeah, one person would conquer. And let's see who conquers this battle. But one thing is for sure, the guys from GCI need to increase the run rate to have a respectable score to defend.
First ball by Ridwan to Onikoye Ademola. Very well played up. Moise is right there. He couldn't get to I beg your pardon, Adeojushel was right there. Onikoye Ademola couldn't put much power into that to allow that to cross to the boundary. This side looks more like the bigger boundary, Shell.
Yeah, definitely. That ball was just too full.
Very well played by Lukman Koforola. Straight on the ground. We've been talking too much about Onikoye and all the players, but Lukman has been scoring his runs in the V. Once the ball is straight, he keeps it on the ground, plays the front foot, full face of the bat, allows the ball go straight. Very well played again by Onikoye.
I'm quite impressed with Koforola. I'm quite impressed with the way he's batting. That was sloppy from Isiaka Audu. That looks more like an attempted run out. The two umpires for today are having a conversation. There's umpire Wale Adekoya, who is the standing umpire, and the square umpire just returned from Abuja is umpire Kendi Olabion. Unfortunately, the third place game was supposed to officiate himself, Isaac Oyeku, and they could not do that. Finally, he's gone. Koforola is gone.
Good bowling from Ridwan Abdul Karim, ensuring that Koforola doesn't have a response to that ball. And GCI has just lost the second wicket after 7.4 overs for just 36 runs. Shell, a big good kudos to our sponsor. We'll be right back shortly.
Finally, the two opening pair for GCI are out. Former captain of the team, Tunde Ayinde, and Koforola Lukman. And in comes the captain of the national team, Sylvester Okwe, historic captain, first ever captain in Nigeria's cricket history to take the country to any kind of World Cup, and that was back in 2020. So from one captain to another captain, from one teammate to another teammate.
I was just about to say that, Sean. Captains, it looks more like a captain's battle.
Captain battle.
The senior captain against the junior captain.
And teammates battling each other out.
At the national level. Now you have, at this stage, everybody will be expected. Sylvester Okwe, all-rounder. Onikoye Ademola, very good batter as well, to take the run for GCI at a higher level. Good throw from Chuma.
That was great communication from both players. Onikoye and Okwe, coincidentally 2 O's. If they had gone for that, by now one person would have been at the boundary.
After the end of the 8th over, ladies and gentlemen, GCI are gradually crawling up. And it's 36. I beg your pardon, 37 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. 39. Oh, 39 it is, show. 39 runs.
39.
They need to jack it up a bit.
At this point in time, Sean, they need to either start rotating the strikes or start. If not, start
they are doing it. They are doing it. They are rotating the strikes, and these two batters, permit me to use this word, are looking more like this looks like Prosper Hosseini.
Prosper Hosseini, yes, definitely coming in from the wire end, like he used to say. Very well played by Onikoye Ademola, but cut off by Mustafa Yusuf. But that slip had allowed that ball to go all the way to the boundary for second boundary in this game, Sean.
They will jack it up. Like I said, at this juncture, they need to increase it to about 6-7 runs per over. Prosper Hosseini was a star player in the last game of the Under-19 Men's Division 2 qualifier. The game against Sierra Leone, when John Bangura, the captain,
She'll drop that from the wicket keeper.
That was.
You don't drop Onikoye when he gives you those chances.
Question is, how do you do that? I hope you don't regret dropping Onikoye.
That's the big question. The last time Onikoye was dropped, he went all the way to score 100. Would he be able to do that against his former side, IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club?
The difference between our creator and the game of cricket is our creator is so gracious enough to give us second, third, fourth, fifth life to have things change, but you don't do that in cricket. You don't give anybody, just like the musician, you only have one life to live. Yeah.
Very well played and very well bowled by Usain Prosper.
This guy is had what we call an organic growth. I told you about the exploits in the last group game against Sierra Leone. John Bangura, the captain of Sierra Leone, that day notched 89 runs off 120 balls. He was going to put pain to the ambition of Nigeria. And when I mean put pain to the ambition, was they were going to defeat Nigeria on Nigeria's home soil, top that group, and then qualify for the final. But then came a name, Prosper Hosseini. Then came that name, Prosper.
Good running in between the wickets.
Yes. Yeah. Prosper that day had 6 wickets for 26 runs in 6.5 overs to emerge as the player of the match. And on the final day against Kenya, he was looking like Prosper Oseni would wrestle that title from Kenya after having 90 runs all out, but Prosper was run out. He had 6 in that final. He was going all guns blazing when that mistake happened.
Onikoyi on strike, Prosper Oseni bowling. Onikoyi missed the line of that ball, and that should bring us to the end of the over.
Good over for GCI.
Shehu, after 10 overs, 45 runs. Runs on board, Shehu. Still 2 wickets.
But that over was a much better over. And going into the last 10 overs now, if these guys stay there for the next 5 overs, I'm sure that things will get better.
Yeah, definitely. It's 44. Just got the correction from the scorer. 44 runs on board. It is 9 overs gone, 2 wickets. It is still. Isaac Okwe still on the bench. Very well played by Sylvester, but can only find backward of square, and 1 run it is. It just seems like IBEJU are totally in control of this game.
Well, they are doing the right things, and that's what you need. They are doing the right things.
Shehu, boundary 4.
That was classy from the captain. It was a captain shot, but you want to think that Captain Mustafa should have tried his best possible, but that shot was far away from him. He would have dived to see whether he could stop that ball from going for a boundary.
Ridwan Abdul Karim has conceded 6 runs in 2 balls in the second over. And now Isaac Okwe and Onikoyi Ademola they need to start popping up the run rates. Onikoyi Ademola on strike. Ridwan Abdul Karim bowling to him. Played up in the air. Has that gone all the way to the boundary for 6? Yes, it has. 6 runs it is. Good shot again from Onikoyi Ademola, taking advantage of the full toss bowled by Ridwan Abdul Karim. Play that off the full face of the bat. Middle it is. 6 runs, Shehu.
Mighty
11
6.
runs in 3 balls. Now GCI are beginning to push up the run rate.
You don't do that to Onikoyi. The question is, Ridwan, how do you do that? That was too costly. But I'm sure he's thinking about it, and he's getting pep talk from his teammates in Captain Mustafa and Lekki Oyede.
White ball bowled again, Shehu.
He needs to, get his acts together and forget about the runs that has been increased astronomically.
Very well played again by Onikoyi Ademola. Straight to mid-off, just a single.
And things like this plays a psychological role in your head. They need to start talking to Moise, the wicketkeeper, Anima Shaun, because for every time Onikoyi scores runs, you'll be feeling bad that Prosper Oseni over, I would have gotten the wicket of Onikoyi. So that will keep playing in his head. But I'm sure he's experienced enough to know that those things do happen, and you must learn to live with it.
Ooh, drop catch again from Chuma Kachuku. 2 drop catches now for IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club. The 2 batters have narrowly escaped taking that long walk back to the pavilion. Earlier we saw in the last over that the wicketkeeper, like you said, dropped Onikoyi, and now the last ball of the 10th over, the catch was dropped by Chuma Akachuku, who was a mid-wicket, who was played by Sylvester Okwe.
That's Sylvester also. But the batters need to understand that this boundary here is the longer boundary, and when you want to hit, you hit it hard, else you hit it and then you have to go and contend with the people at the pavilion. But if you are hitting, you must hit hard. Back again is Isiaka Audu, and the run rate has increased 58 after for loss of 2 wickets.
Now Government College is currently at 5.80 per over. And just right here in front of us at the commentary box, you have Femi Sholebo just having a discussion with the two Mohammeds, Taiwo Mohammed and Moshood Mohammed. It's good to see that Femi is on the bench today, but still finds way to still encourage his side.
He just has to encourage them. He's the oldest in the team. His leadership experience is needed. But I'm shocked why he was dropped today. Same as the guys. The two Mohammeds. But then I don't know anything. The captain knows better.
Onikoye on strike and hit this to the boundary. Played up in the air, away from point. 1 run taken, and they're going for an easy 2. Just like you said earlier, Sheil, psychologically, would the wicketkeeper be asking himself, did I just drop that golden wicket? And would that wicket be more costly for us as a side?
Remains to be seen. Two teams have changed captainship. Mustafa is no longer the captain of IBEJU, and Tunde Ainde is no longer the captain of GCI. But Mustafa can look back to say, under my stewardship as the captain of IBEJU, we went unbeaten.
So, I just have this funny thought in my head. If GCI beats IBEJU today, would you say the change of captaincy really played a role in the outcome of today's game? It's just a funny thought in my head, Sheil.
Well, it has nothing to do with it. Like I said, these are two of the most successful sides in open era. They know how to get the better of each other. Like I said, last season they only played once. That was at this ground. The other game that was to take place at the Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval couldn't hold because of rain. So a point had to be shared. So if it happens, this game will not determine who will win the league. It's just a marker that you have laid down that, hey, we are not here to joke. This game is not the title decider. It's just to lay down that marker that I have won the first battle, and maybe the second battle will be at Unilag, or better still at Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval.
Very well played from Onikoye. Can that race all the way to the boundary for 4? No, picked up by Ridwan Abdul Karim. Not much power being played by Onikoye into that ball.
Isiaka Audu coming from the right end, trying all sort of tricks in ensuring that these two batters, their partnership is broken, because they are rotating the strike, and that's what you don't want as a team.
Oh, very well bowled by Isiaka to end the over. Lovely bowling from him.
Stinking very well, I must say.
Sheil, it's the end of the 11th over, 66 for 2. Onikoye Ademola is currently 26 runs off 19 balls, and Sylvester Okwe is 6 runs off 7 balls.
You know, there are periods where you just give somebody the strike and you anchor for that other person. It happened even in Abuja. The two opening batters for Nigeria, Salim Salau and Paul Palm. Paul Palm is the guy that goes all guns blazing, while for Salim Salau, he's the guy that takes his time to get into the groove of the game. And to be honest, if you get to a point and you just see Selene going all guns blazing. So for now, it's Onikoyi that is still going. Sylvester is taking his time to see what happens. But you know, from the football pitch end here, we have the new signing for IBEJU, Adeyanju Oluwaseun.
This is very shown, you know, that the experience of Sheson Adedeji would have come into play, because obviously you would have expected Sheson to come bowl at this time if he was still with the side. But now you have a young lad who has a very huge mentorship to
deal with current players. We don't deal with old players. Who's Sheson again? Remind me who was he?
very well played by Sylvester Okpe.
But that was just too full. That was just too full.
Oh yeah, sure, you're right.
That was just too full. But like I said, the reality on ground is that those guys are no longer with them, so you can't think about the past anymore. You just have to focus on the future.
How many winners are we?
So these are the guys that they have now, and they're the ones they are working with.
Very well played on the ground again. Straight shot, but this time straighter. 1-1.
That's to Isiaka Audu.
I think at this point in time, IBEJU will be glad to just have singles rather than boundaries.
Take anything they give us.
Full Jay Olympio right underneath it. He drops it again. Onikoye has just been dropped twice. Tough effort from Jay Olympio.
These are international coaches.
This can I use the word this unshare like?
No, it's pathetic. Use that.
It's unshare like. These are catches that Shea would comfortably pick. Apparently, he didn't anticipate that ball.
Peak days when he was still a player. You know, he's not trying to change momentum from being a fitness coach to a player.
But I think he didn't anticipate that ball, because if he had anticipated that shot,
You know, to me, the ball was right underneath it. All he needed to do was run into it. He waited before he could actually take a decision. The big question is this:
Now,
twice.
Both your commentary is as poor as the fielding. Immediately. As poor as the fielding. This is back on recorded. On coming live.
better bowling from
He misjudged the flight of the ball.
Adeyanju Seun.
He wasn't walking in, and he misjudged the flight, so he made it more difficult than he needed to do. He would have just gone like this.
And so what I said
The
it
way
now.
he saw Elsobi, I don't know. Lekki Ramon.
Abi ẹgbẹ́ kí ni mo sọ?
We're back after 12 overs, 72 runs for loss of 2 wickets, and in comes the captain of the side, Akachukwu Chima, national team player. He wants to take responsibility, and that's what captains do when things are not going on fine. They take responsibility. Good running from Ademola Onikoyi, and Sylvester Okpe. Even from the commentary position, I could see that wide ball. From the commentary position, I could see that wide ball. And rightly so, umpire Kehinde Olabiwonu declared it.
Ooh, very well played from Oninkoyi Ademola. Knew very well that the bowler was going to fall to his left hand side and played straight back into his right hand.
But that was risky.
Very, very risky. If he had taken that catch and landed on his waist, we never know what we would be saying right now, sure. Oninkoyi will be thanking the stars and thanking the gods that he has been dropped twice. Very well played by Sylvester Okpe. Straight down to long on. 1 run taken. Sean, it's safe to say that from both times that Oninkoyi and Sylvester Okpe have started their partnership, they have got the board ticking.
They need to do that. They need to do that at this stage. Nothing short of 7 runs per over is what you need. But finally, he got the better of Oninkoyi.
Took his head away from the ball. He took his head away from the ball. All he needed to do was just play the same way Sylvester played it, straight down towards long on for a single. But rather, he decided to take the big shot, and now Oninkoyi has just lost his wicket after scoring a total of 32 runs off 24 balls. Good job from Oninkoyi. Dropped.
He needed 18 more to score half century.
It's 78 for 3 after 12.4 overs.
And it's a brothers partnership that we are expecting to happen. If it does happen, 2 captains of various teams. In comes Isaac Okpe, the current captain of GCI, will be batting with the younger brother Sylvester Okpe, former captain of under 19 and current captain of the senior national team.
Both players alongside Sheson Adedeji went to South Africa for a 1-month academy, and it's really paying off in the style of play, as they would be instrumental not only for club but also for country.
Fortunately, they couldn't go for the tournament that happened in South Africa, the African Cricket Association, that was won by the Ugandans.
Good start from Isaac Okpe, playing it off the front foot. Good running in between the wicket by the 2 batters.
He needs to get into the game as quickly as possible. Captain needs to put up a captain's performance. Making sure that every ball counts, no dot balls anymore. And some new acquisition has come in. They still got some decent players. Vincent is still very much available. He has not batted. Jimo Abdurrahman has not batted. Shimondeku has not batted. These are guys that even Ifeanyi Ubo. Don't forget Ifeanyi Ubo, that name rings a bell at the under 19 World Cup in South Africa in 2020. after losing our matches against Australia, England, and West Indies, our playoff match against Japan, Ifeanyi Ubo won the player of the match.
You're definitely right, Sean. He won the player of the match.
Good start from Adeyanju coming from the football pitch end.
Talk. I don't mute him. What's my professor and which is I mute Mike.
They know at this stage you just need to keep getting those runs. The overs are running out.
Very well played on the ground by Isaac Okwe. You could hear from the commentary box Shashaye's voice, who is currently at London.
No, you had to just keep him on his toes. Isiaka Audu, so 1 run does not turn to 4 runs. It could be disastrous. You know what you'll have saved if a ball is just for 1. And they are taking advantage of every ball. But again, you also have to commend IBEJU for their fielding. They are fielding excellently well.
As much as JCI are taking the board, it's safe to say that the only boundaries they've played in this innings has been just 4 boundaries, 3 4s and 1 6s. The rest has just been rotating the strike, which technically I must say technically has been very good for the IBEJU side. Mustafa Yusuf coming back to bowl from the OYIN show. Now the big question is, can he break this partnership to put pressure back onto IBEJU, onto Government College Ibadan, as Government College will be looking at increasing this 85 runs they have on board to have a very big, huge total, probably 150. That would have been their target, because they need to take advantage of the last 5 overs of this innings.
Mustafa Yusuf is now a new acquisition for Kaduna State, and so he's facing another Kaduna player. They know each other so well. So, like I said, familiar foes playing against each other. But again, I understand you perfectly well, Yomi, about the boundaries. But you take advantage of what is in front of you. And what is in front of GCI is that the IBEJU guys are not really giving them the opportunity to score those boundaries. So keep getting those singles. It's better than you dotting those balls. It's better than you dotting those balls. I know they need the boundaries also, because 1 run is different from 4 runs and 1 run is different from 6 runs. But in the absence of it coming, you have to take advantage of the singles. The guys that are bowling well, and you must give them that credit.
Saying that nicked off the pads.
Appealed, turned down by the umpire, who sees better. That's the 3rd ball of that over.
Yeah, definitely, that's the 3rd ball of the over.
And then you say 2 runs from 3 balls, not a bad ratio. Exactly. For the bowling side.
Mustafa Yusuf doing justice with the ball, ensuring that the run rate just drops. Isaac Okwe played that in the air, but he was lucky that that only could find the 45 mark of the field. And 1 run taken. But brothers are pushing it hard. Shea Olympio right there on our screen.
As long as they keep hitting that thing.
Very well played by Sylvester Okwe. Lovely shot by Sylvester. Saw the bounce. Played it well.
Oga, no coming. I mean, this coming come for your job. Somebody will bring it out.
That was well timed by Sylvester.
Classic shots from Sylvester.
Classic shot.
Classic it is.
That was a pull shot.
Very well played. Middle of the bar. Saw
Yeah.
the bounce
Yeah.
right from
Yeah.
Mustafa's hand and timed that well to the boundary for 4. Very well played again by Sylvester.
And I saw the look on Mustafa's face. He shook his head that, how did I make that mistake? I was doing well before with the ball, but how did I make that mistake? He would have loved those singles, or better still the dot balls, but that one singular error, cost his team and jacked up the runs for Government College by the Old Boys Cricket Club.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 15 overs gone, 94 runs on board, 3 wickets. Isaac Okwe is 8 runs off 8 balls, giving him a strike rate of 100, and Sylvester Okwe is 18 runs off 17 balls with just 1 4 to his credit and having a strike rate of 105.88. Still to bat is still Sheu Odeku, Vincent Adewoye, and others.
Jimo Abdurrahman, Ifeanyi Ubo, Monday Elijah, Ogunbayo Dayo. These guys have not batted. They've only lost 3 wickets. The trio of Ayinde Babatunde, Koforola Lukman, and Ademola Onikoyi.
Sheu right there on our screen is Olympio Sheye coming into goal.
Yeah.
3 spins now used by IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club. Asking questions they are. They've used 3 pace bowlers, 3 spinners in this game.
You know what your spinners can do for you? They are quicker in getting the overs over the line, and sometimes they could be very deadly or dangerous.
Good running by the 2 brothers. That was deep into in between his toes, but Sylvester was quick enough to move and put the bat down for a single.
Overs.
14.
No, 15 gone. 15 gone.
Credit must go to Sheye Olympio, Yomi. I know Sheye to be medium pace before, but it's converted now to a spinner.
Leg break spinner. Good pick up there from the man at Deep Square.
That's a new entrant into IBEJU family.
I don't think he's new anymore, Shell. He's already played 2 games.
I mean, no. When I'm saying the new entrant is he just joined the side. Adeyoju Sheun. That's the new entrant. He just joined them. This season looks more like a very, very great season. We supply drinks courtesy of CWAY. Credit to them. Thank you very much, CWAY, for all you do. They are into water and drinks, and so people will not get dehydrated anymore. Would definitely have lots of water. Thank you, CWAY, for the support for the league.
Last ball of the over to be bowled by Sheye Olympio. Played up in the air. but was safe. Hussein Prosper picks that up, and just 1 run taken. And that brings us to the end of the over, ladies and gentlemen. GCI have done everything possible, keeping the ball ticking, even as much as the boundaries may not have been coming, but they're keeping the ball ticking. And it's 97 runs for the loss of 3 wickets in 16 overs. Shell, it seems like as much as we expected them to have probably crossed the 120 mark by now, IBEJU LEKKI are still doing everything possible to ensure that they have a good total.
Well, just like the slogan of one of our sponsors, CWAY, they say on the go, you'd have expected that the guys should have been going for those boundaries and those runs, but it can only happen when you are playing against a team that is giving you that opportunity to knock those balls around. Look at how IBEJU are fielding. Look at how they are bowling. They are bowling very tidily, but for experience on the part of GCI, other teams would have cracked under this kind of pressure. So they are doing everything humanly possible, but hey, you have to say credit must go to IBEJU, the way they are playing.
1 run again. Tactically, Shell, the boundaries only come off every 4th over. The way I have been saying it, the boundary comes off every 4th over. And it means the game plan of IBEJU would have been, you know what, if the boundaries don't come, we're okay with it. Let them keep rotating the strikes with their legs. And with just less than 20 balls to be bowled, it's going to be a very good game for them.
Well, these two brothers, if they take it to the 17th over, I'm sure that they'll be saying to themselves, it's high time we went for everything, knowing that we have 3 more overs and we still got lots of wickets. What are we going to do with it? Are we going to take it home for Christmas or what? So they need to start going for those balls. But like I said, IBEJU are doing excellently well. Look at Prosper Hussaini coming from the other end at Iwayade, or call it the second gate end, bowling tidily, bowling with so much experience. So you can't take anything away from IBEJU.
Yeah, definitely, Sean, you're right. You can't take anything away from IBEJU. Very well bowled from Prosper Hussaini, keeping it down, ensuring that he's asking questions and making it difficult for the batters to score off him.
And so look at IBEJU, for instance. Now I was looking at their squad list, and I can find 5-6 national team players. Well, it depends on the coach to see whether he wants to field them on match day, but there are 5-6 of them, you understand. So that's the honest truth. That was a mistake there. 1 became 2. Akachukwu Chima, the current captain of IBEJU, is a player of the national team. Ajekun Daniel is a player of the national team. Abdul Karim Ridwan is a player of the national team. Mustafa Yusuf is a player of the national team. Hussaini Prosper is a player of the national team. Taiwo Mohammed is a player of the national team. Taiwo Mohammed is now a sub. You know, in cricket we've tweaked that rules. It's a sub. And look at Solomon Chelemaya. He's also a player of the national team. These fantastic shots.
Fantastic shot, Show, from Sylvester Okwe. Moved away from the line of the ball, played it towards backward the point. He knew point wasn't at backward the point was at proper position, and played it towards backward the point, and that has raced all the way to the boundary for 4. Just like I said, Show, it seems like off every 4th over or 3rd to 4th over a boundary comes.
I think going forward now we might be having something like that. As the overs wind down, we'll be having more boundaries because they know they need it. But great bowling. Great bowling
from Hussein Prosper. Same way Oliko he got lost through his head and got bowled was the same way Sylvester Okwe did now. Through his head, away from the line of the ball, and he got bowled, and GCI has just lost its 1st wicket for 105 in 17 overs.
That was the last ball of that over, yeah. And that's the reason you saw the head of the captain of the national team down is feeling distraught that I think we should have played this over to the end, but I didn't do what I'm supposed to do. That was the last ball of that over, and we could have started the game from ground zero. But in comes another batter, Vincent Adewoye, who is technically a player for the national team. But let's be honest, much has not been seen from Vincent Adewoye. He has not really justified the rationale for Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club to poach him from Government College Ughelli, where he was a superstar and in his marauding self could single-handedly destroy a team. A student of University of Port Harcourt, and at the last NUGA Games he won 2 gold medals and 1 bronze medal.
The big question now is, what would be the instruction given to him from the bench? Would he be to keep rotating the strike, or would he have to just be a power hitter in this innings with just 3 overs to be bowled?
21 more balls, be a power hitter.
105.
Be a power hitter. They need nothing less than 8 per over now. It needs to be a power hitter.
And that has gone all the way to the boundary for 4. Isaac Okwe deciding to take the charge into his hands.
Remember, I told you that we will not be waiting that long anymore, because this is squeaky bum time. They know that they cannot afford to start getting singles. At least some boundaries must come.
In the last couple of balls, we need to see at least 35 runs on this board. Can it be taken? Isiaka ran too much before the ball could get to him. And that 2 runs has been taken by the 2 batters.
Comfortably 2 runs. That's 6 runs in 2 balls.
You're definitely right, Sean. Can he do it 20 runs in this over?
Remains to be seen. 4 more balls to go for us to call it a wrap in the 18th over.
Played down. Ooh, misfield there by the female national coach. Lekki Oyede went down but couldn't keep his hands or his body behind the ball, and 1 run taken.
The basics still remains the basics.
Long barrier.
Yeah. So when the hand misses it, the body stops it.
Vincent Adewoye. Funny as it is, I was looking for the ball right here at mid-on. But it was right behind him.
Yeah, right behind him. And they were almost going to take the second run of Solomon Chelemaya, an under-19 player.
Can he? Ooh, good top work by Mustafa Yusuf. A very good distance he had to run all the way from long on at the ropes. But nonetheless, he made a good tough effort.
Good attempt from former captain Mustafa Yusuf.
Come on, boys, come on!
Played up in the air, read one that you carry right.
There's nothing.
But that has gone all the way to the boundary for 6. Off the middle of the bat. That's a lovely shot there from Isaac Okwe. 6 runs to end this over, Shiu.
Absolutely brilliant.
6 runs.
How do you do that to an Isaac, the captain, showing why he is the captain?
Shiu, 18 overs, 16 runs was conceded in that over.
That was an expensive over.
Very, very expensive over, and has taken Government College to 121 for the loss of 4 wickets in 18 overs. Last 12 balls shown of this innings.
And Mustafa Yusuf is back at the wire end. They need to, take something away. A 140, a 150 looks like a very, very achievable score. That means in the last 12 balls, you need nothing less than 29 runs.
Nothing less than 29, and if you remember vividly, the 17th over which we just witnessed, which was single-handedly controlled by Isaac Okwe, captain of the side, took 16 runs off that over. I'm sure his probably discussion with Vincent will be, you know what, just give me the strike, let me do the damage.
Well, cricket is biscuit, but I don't think you get a 16 runs from a Mustafa. He bowls better than that. So,
oh my world! How do you do that, Joe? Look at the flick from Vincent Adewoye, straight into his pads, made that shot look too easy. He just knew where the ball was, and he didn't even take his side. All he did was full face of the bat, send it all the way to the boundary for 4.
And what Vincent just told me then was the first ball of the 18th over. Seun, please shut up. Because I waxed lyrical about the bowling of Mustafa, that you cannot get 16 runs off his over.
So he already has a 6 now, 10 runs.
That means
with 5 more balls.
And if that happens, about me, I could just take a break from the first innings because I would have been told to shut up.
Oh my word, has that gone all the way to the boundary again for 6? Another 6 it is, Joe. Back-to-back 6s.
What is happening?
12 runs already, Joe. 4 runs to keep, to tell you, you know what, Joe? I think it's high time you just need to keep quiet.
4 balls to go, 12 runs. I just need to keep quiet now. I just need to keep quiet.
Good comeback from Mustafa Yusuf. I'm sure that was what he wanted to do all day.
So 12 runs off 3 balls.
3 balls.
And that 16 looks like it's achievable.
Very much achievable, show. 133 it is now on board. White ball, how would you delay such a ball like that? You wanted to delay and you still gave a run.
That's 13 runs.
13 runs in
and 3 more balls to go.
3 balls to be bowled again.
That means it's very, very much achievable.
No, why?
It is achievable, show. It is 101% achievable.
Who said you should be doing that? Who said that? Please go back to your tent.
Played up again, and that has gone all the way to for 6. Shell, that is the biggest 6 of today. Same way he played the first ball is the same way he played the 4th ball. 6 runs.
That is 19 runs in 4 balls.
Now,
ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this game live between IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club, the defending champion, and Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club, I must say at this juncture I apologize to all the viewers for bringing out my full chest to say it can't happen like it happened in the previous over, but this guy has just taken it one notch higher. 3 6s off 4 balls. I just need to keep quiet.
It is 140 for 4 after 18.4 overs.
Come. Let it go because of the last. You will do it. Yeah, you will do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, 7.5 runs it is that Government College is currently doing. 140 for 4. Now we have a game at hand because now IBEJU will be asking themselves, those 3 vital catches that were dropped, is it now becoming costly for the side? As Vincent Adewoye, who has only faced 5 balls, has scored 19 runs with 3 6s to his credit, and Isaac Okwe, who is currently on 25 runs of 19 balls. This two has done a 35 runs partnership in 10 balls. Has that gone all the way to the boundary for 4? Yes, it is again. 4 runs again. Ladies and gentlemen, I would say that Vincent has just proven to show that, look, show, it's best you just keep quiet. I am just making my statements known in this game. And it is 144 for 4. Vincent is now 23 runs of 6 balls. 144 for 4 with 1 more ball to be bowled in this over. How can Mustafa respond to this? White ball again. White ball it is, and this over has even been much costlier than the previous over, as both partnership of Isaac and Vincent has gone to 39. I beg your pardon, 40 runs. Partnership of 11 balls. Last ball to be bowled. Just one to be taken, picked up by Hussein Prosper for just one to end the over. And after that destructive 19th over, I have to say this. The previous over we saw 16 runs. This over, 25 runs, Sheon. 25 runs.
And to think that it came from an experienced bowler in Mustafa Yusuf is quite bewildering and unimaginable.
Very much unimaginable. Hussein Prosper coming from the football pitch end
Is anything Lucas?
to bowl the last over of this game. Sheon, tactically, Vincent is 24 runs of 7 balls. Isaac Okwe 25 off 16 balls. Both partnership has put up a total of 41 runs.
I told you that Vincent needs to prove to his employers at GCI that we acquired you because we know you can be sometimes crazy when you are batting, and it just showed that how do you do that to a national team player, your fellow teammate? That was awesome.
Played up in the air. Can the wicket keeper or Hussein Prosper take this? A call it is. The bowler decides to take the bull by the horn. Most people would have probably left it for the wicket keeper, but the bowler said, look, I'd rather take this credit to myself. And Vincent, having blasted 24 runs in 7 balls, has just lost his wicket. I would say, Sean, he has come to do the job he has been paid for.
Fantastic performance, great innings from Vincent Adeoye. That I've always said is also an all-rounder. You know what Vincent can offer you. I told you about this pitch. He loves to play on this pitch at the last Nuga games where he represented his University of Port Harcourt. They won 2 gold medals and 1 silver medal, because we had 3 formats of cricket being played, the ODI, the T20, and then the 6 overs. The new rule had to be applied, and thank you very much. This is Abdurrahman Jimo. The new rule had to be applied because our umpires are up to date.
Hussein Prosper with the second ball of the last over. Oh, run out chance! Thrown over the bowler's head! They had a chance to take that run out. That would have probably put pressure on GCI, because if that run out had taken, the new batter would have been the one facing the next ball. But now
they survived the scare.
They survived it, and Isaac Okwe is on strike, who has 4 balls to bowl, 4 balls to face off Prosper Hussaini, who is also an opening bowler for the national team as well.
Yeah, so like you say, local balance. Person wey wan die, meet person wey wan kill am.
Third ball of the last over. Very well played towards extra covers for just 1 run.
And like my friend Innocent Ndaula, the ICC commentator, will say, we chop it chap chap. 3 more balls for the first innings to come to a halt. And I told you, I said 150 looks like a good score.
It's 147 already, Shil. Very well played by Jimo. Would that race all the way to the boundary? No, just 2 runs taken. Good pickup by Sheye Olimpio.
And you know, Jimo also is a very good batter, a Kaduna-based player who used to be in his foundation cricket club.
I was just about to say that, Shey.
Yeah.
It's a Kaduna affair right now in the center.
Yeah, 2 more balls.
Isaac Okwe from Kaduna.
So Edo State versus Kaduna.
Exactly.
Former president versus current president.
Very well bowled from Hussein Prosper.
Remember that the former president of the Cricket Federation, Professor Yaya Okwenya, used to be from Kaduna, and the current president of the Cricket Federation is Sawi Akwata from Edo State. So Edo versus Kaduna.
Last ball of the over, Shea. 150 runs it's on board. How would this last ball play out? Played up in the air. Would that race all the way to the boundary for 4? Good cutouts there by Daniel Ajeku. At 2 runs has officially ended this over. Ladies and gentlemen, after 20 overs of entertaining cricket we've seen right here, it is 152 for 5 after 20 overs.
Yemi, it's been awesome. We've witnessed great batting, super bowling, and the target for the guys is 153 in 20 overs, and almost immediately the calculation would come up shortly for them to win in 20 overs. What do they require? Very quickly, 7.6.
Obviously, Sean, it's technically 8 runs per over.
8 runs per over.
You need to take a goal from the
from the very first ball. And to look at this IBEJU side, where are the batters? There's Chima Kachuku you can rely on. There is Ridwan Abdulkarim you can rely on. There is Prosper Husseini. There's LEKKI. Don't forget there's Solomon Chelemaya. I will not forget Sheye Olimpio, Muiz. These are guys who can do the job. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Unilag Cricket Oval venue for the 2022-2023 Honorable Olusegun Gbolahan YISHAWU CCC League, we've brought you the first innings of this game, and our 2 umpires for today are umpire Wale Adekoya and umpire Kehinde Olabionu. And I told you about Kehinde Olabionu, his exploits at the just concluded International Cricket Council Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup Africa Division 2 qualifier that Nigeria hosted. We had amazing umpires, and I told you about the umpires that were on display, the likes of Aino Chabi from Zimbabwe, Andrew Lowe from Namibia, Isaac Oyeku and David Obidiambo both came from Kenya, Sean George from South Africa. We also had our own Kehinde Olabionu from Nigeria, Abib Amoto Enesi from Nigeria, and the tournament and the match referee was from Zimbabwe, Emmanuel Dube. As we call it a wrap, for those who didn't know, at the end of that tournament, Kenya won, defeating Nigeria in the final. Yemi, the player of the match was Arav Patel. Arav Patel told me categorically he bowls the off spin, and he said sometimes I just allow the flight to take over the ball. His dad takes him to West Indies every year for £2,000 is what they pay, and he won the player of the match. But at the end of the tournament, we had Paul Palm of Nigeria winning the fielder of the tournament. The bowler of the tournament went to Eric Musa Toure of Sierra Leone. The batter of the tournament went to Dash Panchani of Kenya, and the player of the tournament went to the captain of Kenya, Bishi Patel. That was how it all ended. So we leave you in the hands of the creators or call them the groundsmen to prepare the ground
Looking at the
for the
ball
second innings.
last over, you should get set. I'm sorry.
beautiful Saturday morning approaching afternoon in the city of Lagos. Perfect weather for the game of cricket. Technically the first game for Government College IBADAN Old Boys Cricket Club. Their initial game 2 Saturdays ago was washed out by rain, and they had to share points with their brothers from Ibadan, who also have a game once this game is done. It's going to be IMCC new entrants into Division 1 versus Foundation Cricket Club, the oldest cricket club in Nigeria. The two opening batters. That was a mistake. How did they do that? What you get, you give. That was a sure run out. That was a sure run out. But then there was breaking communication between the two opening batters for IBEJU, YISHAWU and Ajekun Daniel.
I was just about to say very good shots from Daniel Ajekun, and I was trying to look at the ball all the way to the boundary, and he played it just straight down to Isaac Okwe at mid-off. Both sides know that this is going to be a cracker, as GCI posted a total of 152 in 20 overs for the loss of just 4 wickets. And IBEJU LEKKI, just like we calculated earlier, they need to go 7.65 per over. And they have just started the campaign off the third ball for just a single.
Oga.
Bowling is Jimo Abdurrahman. Kehinde Becky is acting as a sub today. They said the new rule is that from 12, 13, 14 they are all sub. And batting is the two A's, and I love A's because A stands for excellence. Adeyanju and Ajekun.
Can the A's prove that the A's can take control of this game? Jimo doing justice not only for just his club but also for his state, Kaduna State. And after the end of the first over, we expected it to be a 7-run on the board, but what we have is just 1 run.
And that 1 run, you could call it a fortuitous 1 run, could have been a run out, but hey, they will take anything because they also gave the same favor to GCI, and GCI had to reciprocate. What I give you, you give me back.
Exactly, Sean. What I give, you give back. Very well bowled from Jimo, very well played from Adeyanju.
No, the two of them are very diminutive, very close to the ground. The two opening batters for IBEJU, nothing to really separate them except for their numbers.
I think a lot of players are going to find that offensive from you, saying they are not quite.
I said they are close to the ground.
To the ground, Joe. They are technically 5 feet.
All right, we leave it at that.
End of the first over. It's 1 for no wickets. IBEJU requires 152 runs off 114 balls. That's a very huge total here, Joe. The big question is this: can IBEJU LEKKI take advantage of the power play over? Coming into bowl from the Iwaya end, like you used to call it.
You called it.
Okay, you know, we've been actually asking ourselves, what name do we call that place?
We name it after you.
I'm not a member of university. I'm not an alumni of University of Lagos.
But what you're doing is huge. You are projecting the league to the global space. So we could call it the INC end. You can never say never.
Yeah, sure. You can never say never.
This looks like
Richard coming into goal. Appear for LBW. Daniel Ajoku saw the ball but played it too early.
this is Ifeanyi Ubo.
Yeah, Richard as well. His other name is Richard.
Here is Richard.
I think I will be stuck with Ifeanyi. The man bowling from the end was the player of the match at a World Cup, and it's historic also. I'm sure you know that about me. All the games we played, aside from that playoff against Japan, we never won any player of the match.
Yeah, Sean, you're right.
We were beaten black, blue, red and green by Australia. We were beaten so well by England, and we were beaten so well by West Indies. How do we qualify for our first ever World Cup? How you put us in a group of life? 3 former under-19 World Cup winners. Good shots.
Lovely shots from Daniel Ajoku. Picked that. I think he wanted to play that same shot on the first ball, but he was too quick to react, and now it took his time, timed it properly, middle of the bat, and that has raced all the way to the boundary for 4. Five runs on the board. JCI now looking to change the field set, moving Tunde Ayinde to mid-wicket proper. Now, I'm looking at the field set and it looks a little bit quite awkward to me. Having a deep extra covers and having a mid-wicket are the only 2 guys. Oh my world! You don't play a boundary and use your wicket next ball. Same ball, same approach. The only difference now was a quickened pace, using the seam to bowl it in, and Daniel Ajoku, after playing that 4, has just lost his wicket.
Well, we're complaining about the awkwardness of their field setting, and sometimes the bowler and the captain decides how a field should be. But once you are bowling on the offside and you are not bowling on the leg side, then you don't have any reason to have people there. That was the mid wicket. Fantastic bowling it was, and in comes Lekki Oyede, vastly experienced batter also, and the multi said coach of the female yellow greens,
and also a player coach of IBEJU Cricket Club.
Yeah, so multifaceted.
It is, but now he has a very huge responsibility on his shoulders. He needs to prove to his side that not only can he coach them, but he also can apply what he's teaching his side.
No. I just want to refer to the scripture. The pastor and the imam will tell you that do what I preach, not what I do. So when I'm preaching love, you must show love, be it at the office, be it at the church, be it at the mosque, be it at your house, everywhere. So just what is in the scripture is what you should do. So he has coached them. He might not be able to replicate what he tells them to do.
Oh, good bowling. Oh, Lekki is putting off his gloves. That's a welcome party there from Richard. Ifeanyi hits the ball into Lekki's hands, and you can see he's feeling the pains. You can see him right there. He's just had to pull off his helmet, and it looks like he's in serious agony right now. Shewadeku, who is very good with him, and you can see him putting up his thumb.
No, that's serious. That ball was serious. That ball was serious.
Was it the thumb or the shoulder?
No, it looks like his thumb. You could see him requesting for the tip. I just want to believe he's not bleeding. I just want to believe he's not bleeding.
Thumb, from all we can see here, is the thumb. And it seems that's a good welcome party there for me, Ifeanyi. Ensuring that Lekki has no response. You can see his face, he's feeling the pain, but he needs to still go on.
Well, Yemi, it's a two-way thing. You could argue for or against that incidents like this could make a batter scared, and incident like this could make a batter get upset. That what do you mean? You gave me this and I'm going to deal with you. So which of this scenario will play out remains to be seen, but super excited that Lekki Oyede is back and raring to go. They need him to be inside that crease. He's also one of those batters that can destroy a team. And big shout out to our match commissioner, former Nigerian international Yemi Adegbola. From indication, it means Yemi might not be playing today, because I think a match commissioner.
Yeah, I think he just answered your question. FCC will be looking to have such an experience.
But I don't want to ask, do we change match commissioners for games?
No, not really. He can still do the duty. He's just left to his side. I'm sure the team list would have been out before now, so it's a 50-50 chance, show. But the good thing is Yemi Adegbola is an experienced player for Foundation Cricket Club.
Yeah, left-hand bowler, left-handed batsman. Yeah.
Very well played by Lekki Oyede, still showing Ifeanyi that you may have hit my thumb. You may have hit my thumb, but I can still hold the bat. And from all indication, as just said by the matchcom, he said the ball actually did cut Lekki's thumb.
Well, we are not privy to get into the field, and so the match commissioner, who, like I always say, is the general overseer of
The game today.
any game. If you are a match commissioner of a football game, match commissioner of a basketball game, you are the first to arrive. You see that all T's are crossed and all I's are dotted. So he went there and he saw things for himself, and what he saw wasn't really good. I hope that does not affect Lekki in any way.
Jimo back into the attack from the football field end, and it's just 5 for 1 after 2 overs.
So these two guys now can be easily recognizable. Even when I know that Lekki is slightly taller than IBEJU, but when Ajeku and the two and Chen were batting, hardly could you recognize them. But IBEJU is the one batting.
Good bowling from Jimo. Now you have the power play at your disposal. Take advantage of the power play. IBEJU seems not to be taking advantage of the power play right now, and as things might go, they might find themselves in the tight corner if they don't have to put up at least 50 runs, or let's say technically 30 runs, before the end of the 6th over.
I keep saying to you, Yomi, you only take advantage of a poor situation. This situation is not poor. They are not giving them that chance. You saw what Ifeanyi Ubo was doing from the Iwaya end, and you are seeing what Abdulrahman Jimo is doing from this football field end. They are not giving them any opportunity. The same thing happened to GCI in the first innings when we were looking for them to take advantage. They coincidentally and funny enough, they didn't take advantage of the power play. They only took advantage of the completion of the power play, and it was about some loose bowling from Sheye and I think Mustafa. So you can see how they are working their socks up. They are not even giving them that chance. Will they go for 3? They are not allowing it. So that's the situation on ground. I'm sure they would come good, but at this stage, these two need to build some level of partnership.
36 runs in 12 balls. That was the change in the game of the first innings. 18th over and the 19th over. That was where we thought this game had changed. Good running in between wickets by Adeyanju and Oyede.
And over to forget.
And over to forget. I'm sure Mustafa will not forget that over in a hurry.
That looks like a film that we should work on, and over to forget.
Yeah, definitely.
Cricketers who would be involved. Strictly cricketers. and over to forget. Guys on Netflix, I just gave you a title.
Very well played by Adeyanju. Walk down. Good use of the wrist. Picked up by Onikoyi at square leg. And that should bring us to the end of the third over.
Much better over. At least, unlike what happened in the first over, where they found it difficult to take on Abdurrahman Jimo. And so, at the end of the third over, 10 runs for loss of 1 wicket, 3.3 is the current run rate as against what we projected of 8. So not good enough. I hope they can jack it up, but the team will be very delighted that the guys are not losing their wicket. At least they are forming some level of partnership.
You're definitely right, Sean. Forming some level of partnership is all they need right now. They just need to keep rotating the strike, just like how GCI did in the first innings. The more runs you have on board before the last 6-7 overs will determine how you approach the game in winning. Lukman allowed that ball to drop. I couldn't stop it. The bye taken. Good call there from Lekki Oyede.
It's basic. Balls that are getting behind the striker is the call of the non-striker. And that's why we say deaf people don't play cricket, because mass communication is required. You have to communicate.
Oh. Good pick, good back up there from Tunde Ayinde. He knew that the bowler couldn't get up to that and still went on the way to back the bowler up, because he felt Lekki might and Adeyanju might want to take the sneaky one there, but he was quick to avoid the single be taken by the two batters.
Ifeanyi is bowling well.
Good length into the full face of the bat of Lekki. Lekki not having any response in between. Either he has to use his wrist or just push around. But now, the more runs, the more dots ball you have, is the more runs you're piling up towards the tail end of the game. Very well played. Ooh.
But again, I want to feel for Lekki. Still trying to come to terms with what happened to him in that second over, where his thumb got broken by the ball. Those things would always play in your head, and I'm sure that once Lekki is fine, we've seen this happen severally, where a player gets injured, tries to get himself or get into the groove, and once he starts getting those balls, you just find them going for boundaries and then taking those advantages.
Very well played from Lekki. Has that raced all the way to the boundary for 4? No, 4 runs it is. Good shot from Lekki. Timed that perfectly into the middle of the bat. Flicked that with the use of his wrist. And that has gone all the way to the boundary for 4. The first boundary in this innings. I was just about to say before that boundary, apologies, second boundary in this. Ajeku played the first boundary, second. I was just about to say this, show. Lekki, back in his active playing days, once you break his thumb, he goes after you from the henceforth. But it looks like a different ball game we're seeing here with Lekki. He's trying to take his time. Probably he's trying to build an innings and see how destructive he can be after 10 overs.
When you see the good balls, you respect it, and when the bad balls come, you punish them. Up until that moment, Ifeanyi was bowling a good ball, so there was no reason for Lekki to lose his head. He had to keep his head. But when he saw that bad ball, he saw what he did. He did the damage. Unfortunately, things are not working the way they projected and we projected. After the completion of the 4th over, there are 15 runs on board for the loss of 1 wicket. The target is 153. and we have a new bowler coming from the football field. And this was the guy that constituted a nuisance positively in the batting crease in the first innings. Ensured that Mustafa Yusuf will take time to find his bearing.
Vincent coming into bowl. Is that a wide or a no ball? A good ball it is. 1 warning will be issued as indicated by umpire Wale Adekoya to Vincent. 1 bouncer is accepted in a T20 game, so any bouncer he bowls now will be a no ball.
So maybe you have to be clear. We make it look like in the entire 20 overs, one bouncer that is accepted.
In an over, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
1 bouncer in an over.
Yeah. Else the next ball will be a no ball.
Next ball will be a no. That's another bouncer would actually.
That's what I'm saying. I said else it will be a no ball, and that's 1 extra run to the batting side.
Yeah, definitely. You're watching the game live at the University of Lagos Cricket Oval. Good use of the bats by Adeyanju. Kudos to our major sponsor of this league.
Honorable GBOLAHAN YISHAWU, a member of the Etiosa 2 constituency at the Lagos State House of Assembly. CWAY also, they say on the go, that's what they preach, supplying us lots of water, lots of drink, and of course the SAGOE family supplying us with balls. They actually brought about 314 balls for us to use both in Division 1 and Division 2.
We also have Pets Foundation.
Yeah, that's the foundation that ensures that after every month the player of the match, both in Division 1 and Division 2, goes home smiling. I want to say something, but something just said Cheung.
So also you have the Lagos State Cricket Association as well.
Yeah, Nigerian Cricket Federation. Now I was going to say something, but I just said Cheung, don't embarrass your family. I want to say several winner of the Pet Foundation award, but I like Cheung, have you ever in your career won a player of the month?
That's a good question, Shil. Well, you never can say. Probably the Pets Foundation could give commentator of the month award.
So we'll just share it. We'll fight for it. No need to fight for it.
Vincent, that would be where you're bowling to Lekki Oyedele. I beg your pardon, Oyede. I like calling him Oyedele. Maybe because I know one of the an honorable in Ondo states by the name Bukola Oyedele.
Is he doing well?
He's actually doing well, but he's just a silent politician over there.
All right.
End of the over, ladies and gentlemen. GCI still in control of this game. 16 runs, 1 wicket, 5 overs. 3.20 is the current run rate. Now the required run rate from Shil from 8 has moved up to 9.13.
That last over, just 1 run was made. Just 1 run.
137 runs to win in 90 balls. Very huge tall order. 1 over, or technically 1 bowler just needs to be punished if the batters needs to take this game back into their hands.
Ifeanyi is bowling his 3rd over. They are milking Ifeanyi so well. But after the 2 overs from Abdurrahman Jimo, they had to rest him, and that was why they brought Vincent. They have plethora of bowlers that can do damage. There is Shewan Deku who is here to bowl. There is Dayo Ogunbayo who is here to bowl. There is Sylvester Okpe. There is Isaac Okpe. There is Tunde Ayinde. You know, lot of people.
Oh, lovely catch there, Shil. Lovely catch. Good catch there by Monday. He ran all the way from the 45 yards to take that catch. 1 hand down. Shil.
Monday Elijah.
Let me use your words. It's not far from the ground.
And of course, out goes the two opening batters. Didn't really do the job that the two opening batters for GCI did, and I'm talking about the duo of Koforola, Lukman, and Babatunde Ayinde. But now the two opening batters for IBEJU are out. Daniel Ajeku and Adeyanju Oluwaseun.
Is coming into bat.
Under 19.
It's easy to say that Adeyanju was coached by Lekki Oyede. Muiz also coached by Lekki Oyede.
Muiz is a student of University of Lagos. Same as
He's an alumni of University of
no, he's not yet. He's not done yet.
Yeah, but he's going to be an alumni.
I'm saying, one day, someday, after the completion of his 4-year program, he will definitely be an alumnus of University of Lagos. But currently, he's a student. But he started his studentship on a not too good note. And what do I mean? At the NUGA Games that University of Lagos hosted, never in the history of NUGA Games will UNILAG go to a competition without winning any medal. All the 3 competitions UNILAG put in for the host, can I use the word, Onlule?
He's on strike now, sure. Let's just leave University of Lagos to University of Lagos.
Yeah, but we are playing on University of Lagos pitch.
Let's leave University of Lagos. Who is now on strike? He has Ifeanyi to contend with. Both are familiar with each other on the 19 level.
Former
under
and current.
Yes, please. Under 19 is still under 19.
No, once you have moved past that, you have gone beyond. You put former in your name, because we don't want to engage in any form of unscrupulous attitude where you have passed that under 19 and you are still coming back to under 19.
Very well played. Good use of the feet. Playing straight to covers. You can see Leketa giving him instructions on how to play that shot into space. It's 5.3 overs gone, 2 wickets, 16 overs. GCI seems to be in control, just like what IBEJU did earlier on in the first innings. Oh, very well bowled. Full toss. I would have expected him to jab that into space.
That was full, but hey, Moise did not get to see it. Fine is really bowling well.
At what point would IBEJU Lekki Cricket Club take the game into their hands?
As long as GCI are bowling well, it will be difficult for you to take it into your hands. But once they start doing badly, then they will take it from them. Like I said, GCI started a bit wobbling, but picked themselves up at some point in time. So they still got some good batters. There is Ridwan Abdulkarim still very much available. There is Sheye Olympio.
There's Hussein Prosper.
There is Prosper Husseini. There is Solomon Chilimaya. So they still got some good players. But this is to the delight of the bowling side, the dot balls.
I'll tell you what I'm looking at, Shell. I'm looking at the fielding side. They have Sylvester Okwe, experienced spinner. You have Isaac Okwe, experienced pace bowler. You have Shane Odeku, experienced medium pace bowler. You have Dayo Ogunbayo, who can bowl those balls at the tip of your bat. You have Tunde Ayinde, an experienced off-spin bowler. Now you have 5 bowlers who are yet to bowl. Sheon, on the batting side, you have Chuma Akachuku, you have Ridwan Abdulkarim, you have Sheye Olympio, you have Hussein Prosper, you have Ridwan Abdulkarim. 5 batters, 5 bowlers. It's a battle that is evenly balanced.
Well, rightly put it. Captain Isaac Okpe would believe that if it's not broken, you don't fix it. These guys, the pace bowlers, are doing the job that we want them to do, but at some point in time they want them rested. All these names that you mentioned will not get to bowl. The only reason you get to see those bowlers come to bowl is when the bowlers that are given the initial assignment are not doing the job they are supposed to do. Then you now start picking from the plethora of bowlers that you have. But you look at how Ifeanyi is bowling, you want to give him a 4 overs to bowl. You have seen Vincent bowl the first over. he's bowling the second over, you still want to give him another chance based on what he did in the previous over where they only played him for 1 run. So that's why I'm saying that it's on that premise you want to say that, oh, let these guys keep going. The way Vincent is bowling, if you are a captain, you will give him 3 overs because his first over you just played him for just 1 run. Abdurrahman Jimon is also doing badly. So before you say Jack Robinson, these guys have gotten over the line. I'm sure that for the next over we'll have a new bowler because they will not want Ifeanyi Ubo to go on 4 on a stretch.
Definitely. I think with the way things are, Jima has been cut off. Vincent is coming to replace him from the football field end. Good bowling from Vincent.
No, it could be strategic.
It has to be strategic, Shil. The 2 bowlers have done well. They haven't hit much runs off the 2 of the 2 opening bowlers. So it's best to bring in your bowling change and allow the batters again start thinking of how to approach it. Because if you had bowled the 2 bowlers with the 3rd over each, probably the batters would have taken much strike about it.
Wickets are not tumbling, but the runs are not coming, and so the fielding side will be delighted.
Another dot ball it is. The dot ball show can pile up or would pile up. You could see Lekki posture saying it all. We need to get this ball ticking. We just need to take advantage of the power play. If we can't take advantage of the power play now, when do we take advantage of scoring the runs?
I'm not the captain, but I'm just wondering the rationale for bringing Animashaun in now. But maybe the captain knows better, and that's why I said I'm not a captain, because he's not putting the runs on board. They don't need to start having those dot balls. It's a T20 game. It's not a 50 overs game, and the run rate that is required before we started this commentary was about 7.4, but now it's jacked up to about 9 point something. I think
10 actually shown
now
10.07.
you can imagine
it has jacked up to 10.07. The dot balls are just piling up, and I keep saying that the dot balls would definitely tell at the end if IBEJU doesn't take advantage of this. Very well played, but could only find Tunde Ayinde, and that brings us to the end of the over. These runs are piling up, Sean. They're piling up, and at the end of that over, after 7 overs, 17 for 2.
So what I'm saying is that the previous over of Ifeanyi Ubo and the just concluded over from Vincent Adewoye, just 2 runs was made. That's totally unacceptable. Remember, we're talking about 15 for 1, and now they are 17. So for
17
2.
for 2.
Yeah. So not good at all. And the captain wants to run out Ifeanyi.
Probably, the way I see it, he probably would have to run out a particular opening pair, because he himself would definitely want to bowl. Just like I mentioned, you have 5 bowlers who can still bowl. So you have 5 plus 3, that's 8 bowlers. So it's best you just run 1 bowler off and then rotate the remaining 5. Lekki played that up in the air, took advantage of the inner ring with that race all the way to the boundary for 4. Picked up by Vincent. Isaac Okwe was there to cover up for him. 2 runs taken. Now you could see Lekki Oyede knows that he needs to take mentorship, and he has decided that yes, you may have broken my thumb when I first faced the first ball, but right here and here, I'm going to take you on in your 3rd over.
Yeah, he's hit Ifeanyi for 4 for a boundary, and
that's actually it too.
No, I mean.
I beg your pardon. That's 4 runs.
No, it was 2 runs, but I'm saying he had done that before.
Yeah.
He had done that to him before. So he's an experienced batter, like I rightly said, and he wants to take responsibility now because Animashaun is dotting the balls, which is not good for the team.
Very well played again. Good stop from Shewa Deku. It's good to say that these 2 know themselves very well, but Lekki and Shewa Deku, both on and off the field. I can say the battles between these 2, even in some WhatsApp forum that which both of them are and we are, it's always quite entertaining to say, and it's good to see that both of them are also doing the same banter on the field of play.
We see who wins at the end of the day.
Appeal for LBW declined by umpire Kehinde Olabiwanu.
And you know, Kende, it doesn't take him time to make his declaration known. You know, not like some people who want to vie for positions and they keep you in limbo. He makes his intent known from the get-go.
If it's LB, it's LB, Sean. If it's not LB, you just let it go. Very well played there by Muiz. Played it down. Jimo picked that up. 1 run it is.
And let me just make you laugh at the just concluded International Cricket Council Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup Africa Division 2 qualifier. The last group game to determine who tops Group B between Nigeria and Sierra Leone. You know, Nigeria and Sierra Leone is always a very feisty game. Yeah. The ball that finally gave Nigeria that victory, they kept John Bangura off strike. He was the man that was scored 89 runs off 120 balls. That's a wide ball. And he kept on working on the batters that were coming in, and they kept him off strike. The last ball that he bowled in that over, because John Bangura just wanted to face, he needed 12 runs in about 40 balls.
12 runs in 40 balls.
Yes,
that
to win.
That's very doable.
Doable. So they just kept him off strike. That ball, immediately that last batsman came in and Prosper bowled the ball and he wrapped that person. It was like a national appeal. Not only the players, but the fans also appealed. And guess who was standing that day? The duo of Andrew Lowe from Namibia and Aino Chabi from Zimbabwe. And immediately they said, how was that? It was a national, even from the fans. How was that? I just saw the face of Andrew. He only raised his finger.
He started laughing.
The whole field got into ecstasy.
Very well played from Lekki. Would Dio be able to stop that? Yes, he did.
That's Elijah.
I beg your pardon, I'm Monday Elijah.
Yep.
From afar, both Monday and Dio looks almost alike.
That's Dio there at
oh, he's a backward of square.
yeah.
Lekki Ode on strike. Lekki has been keeping this ball taken in this over, which is what I expect him to do. Very well played. Good use of the wrist.
At least they've jacked up the runs, not like before when it was pretty terrible.
And good play from Lekki to go face the next over. Good play. Good experience batter he is.
He's thinking.
He's thinking, exactly. That's the right word. He's thinking. He knows he needs to face the next over, and that is what he has done. And Chill, that has brought us to the end of the 8th over as IBEJU Lekki Cricket Club at 26 for 2, and they have 127 runs in 72 balls.
Doable on a day where you have a bowler that gives you that unpleasant kind of bowling, but you want to think that I think we have a new bowler, the captain of the national team wants to start his own onslaught.
Coming into bowl from the football field end.
Yeah. We are done with the power play, and that's why you could see them expanding the frontiers.
Very well played from Lekki Oyede, who's also former assistant coach under Asanka to the national team, so he will be familiar with almost all the whole national team players on this side.
Definitely. That's the World Cup winner with Sri Lanka in 1996. And
you could see Lekki's reaction to
yeah.
Push this ball. We need to get the ball thinking. Stop playing for defensive.
We are not playing tests, neither are we playing 50 overs.
You need to get the ball going. To dot ball it is. Lekki seems to be furious right now. You can see the way he's holding his bat. He knows now that, look at him. He knows, just look at his reaction. Push this ball into space. Let me get on strike. Very well played by Muiz.
There's no point for any two because Lekki wants to take charge.
Lekki definitely will go for two.
No, it's not necessary. It will amount to not thinking if you actually go for 2 runs.
How ironic would it be now if Lekki loses this wicket?
It's cricket.
That's all you need. Good play from Lekki. Single it is. You need to keep the ball ticking. All you need to do is use your feet, use your wrist, and just play with the full face of your bat, and you will get the runs going.
I understand the frustration of Sylvester Okpe, but he will be very glad that what is required they are not getting. The required run rate they are not getting it.
Now he pushed the ball straight to point, and you want to get off strike. Lekki is smart enough, knew was the last ball, and just said, you know what, young man, stay there. Sheon, that has brought us to the end of the over. 9 overs gone, Sheon. 29 runs, 2 wickets. 124 runs in 66 balls.
Make it the more harder. The Okpe brothers are taking responsibility now.
Sheon, we said it was meant to be 8 runs per over.
Yeah.
Currently
11.27.
11.27 is the required run rate.
And that's why I said that I saw the frustration on the face of Sylvester, but he will not be bothered because he made it the more difficult for the batting side. Before it was supposed to be 7.4, he rose to 9. He's now at 11, and the guys that are bowling are not leaving anything to chance.
I must say today that with the way the pitch has been prepared, the pace bowlers are having a swell time. The balls are bouncing. We haven't seen much turn from the spinners. Lekki ducked that out from his front foot straight towards mid-on for a single. The question is, would Muiz be able to have response to how Isaac Okpe is bowling?
He needs to start rotating the strike at this point, else it will be disastrous. 11.27 is way too much to ask for, and you don't want it to go higher than what is required. The runs are not coming, and you are dotting the balls.
Very well played, but could only find Isaac's brother Sylvester at points. But 1 run, good running by Oyedeleke.
Two captains, captain of national team and captain of Government College Ibadan Old West Cricket Club. Like I said, the 2 most successful teams in open era are playing.
Everybody expected that GCI will be the team that's evenly balanced to beat IBEJU Cricket Club, and it seems to be proven so.
You know, this looks like a mini grudge match. Grudge match in the sense that I told you that the last time these two played a competitive cricket game was on this field December 11, 2021. It was the start of the season. GCI were missing some key players, same as IBEJU also, but GCI missed most of the players because then the acquisition of Joshua Ayonaike, Ademola Onikoyi had not been activated. Then the duo of Isaac and Sylvester did not get to play because the instruction for the former national team coach Asanka was that they should not play any game since they just returned from a tournament in Rwanda. Though Nigeria did not do well, we lost all our matches, but there were some positives that we took away from that competition. So they also did not have the complement of people like Ridwan Abdulkarim. So the second game that was supposed to happen this year at TBS, rain washed it out. So this bad blood supposedly is there, and what we are seeing today is we want to end your unbeaten run, having gone last season unscathed.
Ooh, that just narrowly missed the off stump. He was lucky, and you can see they going to talk to him. I'm sure Lekki at this point in time is going to be giving him so much words of encouragement and advice. Look, forget me being your coach in the center. We're both the ones playing. We need to win this game for our team.
The brief is simple. You need to score runs. The brief is simple. I'm not in the batting crease, but the brief is simple. We cannot afford to have dot balls. Dot balls is a disaster.
It's becoming costly now. I
It's-
won't use that word disaster until
No,
I get to the
dot
15th
balls
over.
is a disaster waiting to happen.
Oh, very well bowled from Isaac. Joker lens and good play from Muiz. Dug that out.
And that Yoka just makes me remember my very good friend from Sri Lanka, Lasit Malinga. Just throws it into that toe of yours. And he has a very awkward and funny run up, but he knows what he wants to do with the ball.
So after the end of the 10th over, it is 32 for 10, 32 for 2. Current run rate is 3.20. Required run rate from 8 to 9 to 10 and now to 11, and now it's at 12.10.
Making it the more difficult. It keeps getting up. Even when we have these two who have played about 4-5 overs, the duo of Lekki Oyede and Muiz Animashaun, things are still not working the way they expect. Advantage up until this moment to GCI, but anything can happen in cricket.
Lekki dragged that. No run considered. Sylvester Okwe back on strike at the football field end. Dragged all the way to mid wicket. 2 runs taken. Good running in between the wickets by the two batters. That's what you need from both sides. Good pick up and throw. Good one by the field inside. Sylvester Okwe now readjusting his field. Moves Shewan Deku down towards the mid wicket. Lekki experience. Play that straight towards long on. Run out chance. Onikoyi threw that far away from the stumps. And an easy, comfortable 2 for the two batters.
We need to start taking the risk. That's what the guys are doing now.
The risk needs to be taken, Shell.
Positive risk.
It just needs to be taken. Lekki decides to take a turn. I think at this point in time, he doesn't need to do that. You just need to keep scoring the runs. You don't need to start turning around. He looks down. I think he just sprained his waist, or he's touching his thigh. Yeah, he's touching his thigh. I think he just had a groin there.
Hope Lekki is all right.
I think he has a groin there.
Sorry.
Hope Lekki is all right.
I think he is. After the turn now, he's groin. I'm sure Lekki has not played a long game in a long while. It's 10.4 overs gone. 36 for 2 for IBEJU Cricket Club. GCI, after 20 overs in the first innings of this game, posted 152 for the loss of 5 wickets. Lekki Oyede faced 28 balls and has scored 21 runs. Animasha Muiz, 17 balls, 3 runs. The runs seems not just to be coming for IBEJU Cricket Club. GCI are doing pretty much well to ensure that they get that, they break that shackles. They break that shackles off from losing consistently to IBEJU Cricket Club.
What a game we have on our hands.
What a game we have. Lekki is back on his feet.
Game has resumed. Lekki is gradually turning adversity to victory. Two incidents we've witnessed. The first one was the thumb got broken, and this second one,
Ow!
Two people.
Both Sheon Ifeanyi and Sheon Odeku misjudged the ball.
it happened in the first innings also.
Well, yes. So what goes around comes around.
Yeah, there was breaking communication between two players. I think it was Ridwan Abdulkarim and another player. They both misjudged that timing.
Lovely form there by Lekki Oyede, who is taking the bull by the horn for his side.
After every incident, Lekki will do something dramatic. White ball.
White ball it is.
Better bowling from Sly, over up. Better over from Lekki and Moise Animation.
I think if IBEJU Lekki Cricket Club wins this game, they will be thanking Lekki for his resilience in ensuring that the runs are scored. As it's 11 overs gone, showing 41 runs on board, 2 wickets. Now you have 8 wickets at hand, you have 9 overs, technically 54 balls, 112 runs to win. At this point in time, dot balls will be, let me use your word, disastrous.
Disastrous.
You need to now rotate the strike. Every run matters.
When
Every run.
when you say required run rate is 12.44, that means that for IBEJU they will be praying that he can complement the effort of Lekki, and I'm talking about Moise. But for the guys in GCI, they will not be bothered. They will think that, oh, we are happy with what you are doing, Moise. Keep getting the balls for us, even if you cannot get your wickets.
That would be the whole idea. Keep Moise on strike, let him keep dotting the balls and take Lekki off strike. But with the way it is, Lekki is doing everything possible to get off strike so he can score the runs for his side. Now, quick field of change. Sheon Odeku has been moved away from point, and I think he's been moved to mid wicket because of Lekki. Oh, good field settings by Isaac Okwe. Knew what he was going to bowl and knew how Lekki would have approached it, and that is what he has done. There you have Jimo right there on our screen, who is technically putting on Becky's shirt.
This is not the first time it will happen. It happened in the first innings.
Yeah, where we saw
Isiaka Audu
putting on the
Friday's jersey, but hey, first time we'll be running commentary for me, so I'm trying to get acquainted with those names and those faces, but now I know them.
Lovely on drive by Lekki Oyede for just a single.
Virakuli will be proud of him.
The ICC T20 World Cup played at Australia. The captains had their photo shoot yesterday, which coincidentally was Babar's of Pakistan's captain, his birthday. Who do you think is going to win this World Cup, Shio?
I don't know.
I'm rooting for New Zealand.
I don't know.
It's more like they have the back of their house.
Oh, don't.
I know where you're going to.
No, don't come. Don't, because I remember when they hosted the 50 overs World Cup with Australia. The first game they defeated Australia because they played on a field that was smaller. But when they got to SCG, it was a different thing entirely. They were beating black, blue, red and green.
Everybody has said it, shown that the New Zealand's cricket pitch technically is the smallest cricket pitch in the whole world.
But when they got to I think it was Melbourne Cricket Ground for the final.
Yes, MCG.
No,
which was the last game. The captain of the side, Michael Clark.
Yeah. It was a 7-wicket victory for Australia. Flawless.
David Warner was just on fire that day. Appeal for LBW given. LBW given by umpire Kehinde Olabiwanu, and finally Lekki's resilience and resistance has just come to an end.
This was not the wicket they were praying to lose. This was not the wicket they wanted to lose. They don't want to lose any wicket, but I'm sure if they put it on the scale, they will have loved to sacrifice the wicket of Moise. They will have sacrificed the wicket of Moise so that we have Ridwan and Lekki batting. But hey, they start again from ground zero. Ridwan is also a fearless batter, captain of under 19. So 2 members of under 19 playing.
44 for 2 after 14.5 overs. I beg your pardon, 44 for 3. Yeah, Lekki's wicket makes it 3 wickets. So it's 44 for 3 after 11.5 overs. Current run rate is 3.72. Showing required run rates moved from 8 to 9 to 10 to 11 to 12, and now it's 13.35. Would Ridwan Abdul Karim be able to find a way to push the run rate down for IBEJU Lekki Cricket Club?
This guy has got hearts. When we went to Rwanda, Kigali, for the T20 tournament that Nigeria took part in, he was the second youngest in that tournament. The youngest at that tournament was Prosper Hosseini, and he was the second youngest. He was 16 then, and that was last year November. Just like this tournament Nigeria hosted in Abuja, the youngest player in the tournament was a very good friend of mine. He bowls the leg spin, and we're advising him that when you are bowling the leg spin, sometimes it's difficult for the umpire to give out, because if he does not, it's a leg spin. So it's different from you are bowling the off spin, but he's bowling the leg spin. His name is Merrick Reed from Botswana. He's 14 years of age. He schools in Zimbabwe and he plays for Botswana. How young he was, the dad had to follow him down to Nigeria.
12 overs gone, 45 runs on board, 3 wickets, 108 runs required in 48 balls. It seems to be a tall order now for IBEJU Lekki Cricket Club. Second game today's show, it's Ibadan Metropolitan Cricket Club.
What's wrong with Ibadan? Are they coming with rain? The weather is changing.
Dots ball.
But I'm sure we're gonna have a good weather. The last game they played was against IBEJU. It was a comfortable victory
for IBEJU Lekki Cricket Club.
Yeah. I'm sure they will come good. They don't want to go back to where they are coming from.
Good play from, that was not the intention from Ridwan Abdul Karim. Good running in between the wickets. Ridwan knows he needs to be on strike all the time if he needs to get the runs.
The square leg umpire Kehinde was looking at that incident and was like, was he in, was he out? It took him time to decipher, because that's never the call of Wale.
Exactly, and with the way games are being played, technology are being involved. Sooner or later, Nigeria would also be having technology.
That's the third umpire.
Exactly, very well played from Ridwan Abdul Karim. Straight to covers, picked up by Isaac Okpe. Just 1 run.
They have with these runs going, and they are not scoring boundaries. IBEJU would be the ones under pressure, and GCI will not mind.
GCI isn't minding. Just for 3 boundaries in this innings. This is really a tough order.
IBEJU are feeling the heat
And it looks like a seamless victory if GCI does win this game.
Cricket is biscuit.
The run rate is really piling up, Shell. Really piling up. Now
Yeah.
it's moved to 14.18 required run rate.
How do you do this?
Very well
14.18.
played. Isaac Okwe missed that, and that should only go for 2. Just 2 runs. You can see Sylvester looking at his brother.
Say, bros, help me.
Help me, exactly. That's the word.
Because when we get home, I'll ask you, will you help?
Exactly.
Or he might just be joking, say, you don't stop my balls, I'll drop you from the national team as the captain. Finally! Gone!
At this stage, show, it's more like going to be a roller coaster victory for GCI. 4 wickets, 51 runs, end of the 13th over.
Well, I could say that because the runs are not popping up and the wickets are dropping. So it becomes the more difficult for IBEJU to get this over the line. You could see from the look on the bench, is more of, this looks like good night for us.
Now you have Sheye Olympio coming in. I think at this point in time, GCI will be happy to have Muiz in the middle.
Yeah.
And have new batters coming, because you know if Muiz is on strike, you get the dot balls. So let's just have batters who, you know, even if the wickets keep tumbling around him, GCI knows that, look, this guy can probably hit the boundaries with what he has been playing since. But we never can say Muiz could decide to take the bull by the horn and start hitting the boundaries.
Well, of which bowler?
That's a big tall order, show.
Because these guys from GCI are bowling very well. But in cricket, like we said, never say never. I don't want to go that route that I went in the first innings, where I had to shut up for some overs, because I was so confident that what we saw in the 18th over, where Sheye Olympio was hit for 16 runs in that over, that it could never happen to Mustafa Yusuf, one of Nigeria's finest bowler. But guess what? That was the worst over in the entire game. He was hit for 25 runs, including 3 sixes.
Dayo Gumbayo coming in from the Iwaya end.
I tell you, we are going to name that after you for now. And you know what Dayo also does? Dayo's bowling is sometimes annoying. The ball just doesn't bounce, it creeps. It's like a crawling bowling. If you watch Dayo, he frustrates you to do those things you're not supposed to do. Vastly experienced bowler also.
Muiz thought that went straight towards the offside, but went to the offside, to the leg side. 1 run taken.
GCI is a well-rounded side from what I'm seeing. To think that Tunde Ayinde has not even gotten the ball speaks volume of the talent that they have abound.
Exactly, sure. Sheye Olympio dot ball.
Not needed.
Sheye needs to apply himself into this game.
Let's not also forget that Sheye Olympia has got a record. The Nigerian player to score the fastest 50 in an international tournament.
Straight towards longer off for just 1 run. Tough call it is. Jimo, who's putting on Becky's shirt, is right here. Coming back to us, the commentary box. Very well played by Moyes. Straight towards square leg. Good pick up by Tunde Ayinde.
Tunde Ayinde has left being a captain and he has stepped down. It's just like, I'm no longer a governor, I'm now a senator. He's no longer the captain, he's not the vice captain. The new captain is Isaac Okpe, and Isaac will say, under my captainship, I want to achieve so and so things.
How did that ball miss the wicket?
I told you that the way Dyer bowls, he bowls creepingly. And creepingly could be annoyingly. Especially when you are a batter. Because the ball will not rise.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 54 for 4 after 14 overs. Sheil, it just looks totally undoable at this point in time for IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club. 16 runs required for every over.
So at this juncture, you need Baba Azam, you need Virat Kohli, you need A.B. de Villiers, you need Kane Williamson,
Chris Gale, David Warner,
yes,
Glenn Maxwell, you need every experience batters that you can think of. Wicketkeeper couldn't hold on to that, and a wide ball.
That's 2 runs.
2 runs taken, but that doesn't still change any difference from the required run rate. You could hear the voices of GCI players. They knew the victory is just some minutes away. One run. Oh, run out chance. Miscommunication show from Sheye and Moyes. Sheye shouted yes, but he didn't know where the ball went to, and Moyes didn't even look, took off, and IBEJU has just lost another wicket.
You can't blame Moyes. At this juncture, they need runs sticking, they need boundaries, and that was the call of the striker. But the striker misled the non-striker.
The first call he said was, in fact, I think he called yes 4 different times. Yes. And obviously the non-striker took off.
No, that, like I said, anything in front of a batter who is striking is his call. But whatever goes behind is the call of the non-striker. And he said yes. He wanted to steal a run, but there was no run there. And that cost the team. So in comes
Chuma Akachukwu. Good throw by the wicketkeeper to the bowler. He was quick on his feet. He saw the miscommunication and knew there was no way that ball was going away, and just ran to pick up the ball and threw to Sylvester Okwe. Good use of the wrist by Sheye Olimpio.
They could make it 2.
Good pick up by Ifeanyi, prevented the second.
Making it the more difficult for IBEJU.
Sheil, at this point in time, IBEJU just needs a miracle from somewhere. Just needs a miracle. It's either you're going to take on all the bowlers GCI are going to throw at them at this point to win this game, because at this point you need to just go 25 runs per over.
And that means we're going to be having a throwdown.
Exactly.
Not necessarily a bowling anymore. It's going to be a throwdown. Maybe they are tossing the ball to you, because if these guys are still bowling the way they are bowling, don't forget that Vincent Adeoye still has overs left.
Jimo still has
overs left. Isaac has overs left. Dayo has overs left. LB appeal gone.
Given Chuma Akachukwu just lost his wicket. I think at this point in time, I think IBEJU.
Was that not it looks like a duck from Chuma?
No, yes, it is.
That was a duck from the captain.
We'll say technically a silver duck.
Yeah.
We have a golden duck, so this is more like his second ball. And the captain has just lost his wicket. At this point in time,
it's good night.
It's good night.
It's good night. These guys are too technical.
I'm trying to look at the faces of all GCI players. You could see the discussion in the middle. They are still not giving up yet. You could see Shehu there smiling. Shehu has been with GCI all through the defeat. You can see Sylvester as well smiling and trying to look for where Onikoyi is. He's right there at the boundary line.
Former player of IBEJU.
Look at him right there. You can see he's having a discussion. He would definitely know how it feels like to taste victory and defeat, because while he was still with IBEJU, he played against GCI, beating them, and now he's with GCI, so he knows how victory is.
No, there are two types of victory. There is the slim victory, there is the convincing victory.
This is convincing.
Yes, and this is like a statement intent. A statement intent that, hey, watch this space, GCI is the team to beat this season. Anything can happen in a game of cricket, but on the balance of this performance that I've seen today, this is an incredible performance from them.
Lovely shots there, straight to mid-wicket. Shehu Odeku missed that, but was able and quick on his feet to recover. 1 run taken.
The new entrant is no run there.
Beg your pardon, no run.
No run. Shea is trying to do the calculation. In comes Solomon Chielemanya, an under-19 player who went to Zimbabwe for a 1-month training, courtesy of the Cricket Federation, and we must say thumbs up to the Cricket Federation. They sent 10 players to Zimbabwe and 2 coaches. The under-19 girls that went to Botswana, the likes of Peculiar Agboye, Divine Uranta, you know, they were all there. Lucky Piety, who eventually won the battle of the tournament. And for the guys, the David Abibo days of this world, the Paul Palm, the Selim Salau, the Prosper Husseini, and the Solomon Chelemaya. And they had 2 coaches also go. I think Peter Isewi and Azuka Onwunjobi. So thumbs up to the Cricket Federation president. And he knows, Uyakwata knows his work is cut out. If Nigeria wants to be at the World Cup in 2024, the road is difficult. I will not sit here and fool myself. It's going to be very, very tough for the Nigerian team. You are facing countries like Kenya, you are facing countries like Tanzania, Namibia, Uganda, and of course, your familiar foes in Sierra Leone.
Very well played by Sheye. Straight towards square leg. Just see the way Tunde Ayinde picking up the ball. He knows that it's just 1 run.
No, that was too easy for him to pick. That was too easy for him to pick. Dio coming from the wire end. Good drive from Solomon. And I must say that Yemi, the tournament that just ended in Abuja last week, Saturday, was well organized in all sense, and we had some great coaches. The coach of Malawi also was a very good coach, Singaporean Aju Menon, and the coach of the Kenya winning team. He has played at the World Cup before from Kenya. Oh, easy catch. Good night.
At this point in time, show it's all smiles for GCI.
All smiles. And I was talking about the coaches that we saw. Like, for instance, the coach of the Kenyan team had played at the World Cup before, vastly experienced, Kennedy Obuya. And the little bird that speaks to me all the time is talking to me, Nigeria might go the way of Kenya. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Nigeria might go the way of Kenya. If the little bird that talks to me is speaking rightly. So in the coming days, you can see something like Nigeria and Kenya are having a relationship.
Shehu Sylvester Okwe took that lovely catch at point.
Well, is it lovely catch? Was an easy catch?
A catch is a catch.
No, you know, I sent a message to Burna Boy, the award-winning Grammy artist. I said, I'm a common person, but everybody get roll, but nobody roll past anybody roll. And I said, I totally disagree with you. The catch of Ridwan Abdulkarim against Sierra Leone is a more difficult catch than what we saw from Sylvester. But like you say, a catch is a catch, but there are some difficult catches. That was the catch that people said, hey, Ridwan, in spite of your height, you should be the Super Eagles goalkeeper. Maduka Okoye, step down.
Hussein Prosper now into the crease.
This is another battle that last week Saturday I wept internally because he wanted to wrestle that game from defeat for Nigeria. Guess what about me? Nigeria was 4 wickets for 2 runs and we're chasing 90 runs in 40 overs. But when Prosper Hosseini came on, he hit 6 sixes until the period where they ran him out.
A lot of people will say he ran himself out, but he still ran out. It's a run out is still a run out, and that brings us to the end of the over, ladies and gentlemen. 1 run taken.
How many overs gone? Let people know and what is required.
As it is right now, Shell, what is required is 94 runs in 25 balls, 59 runs, 7 wickets, 16 overs.
22.56 is what is required.
I won't be surprised if by the end of the let's say 17th over, what will be required will be like 35 or 40 runs required. It's still quite doable. Still very much doable. Now,
doable what?
You just need to be a Vincent.
Yummy.
You need to be a Vincent Adewoye in this game.
Yummy.
You need to take 1 over and score 25.
Yummy, I'm sure you must be kidding.
No, I'm not taking it away from the IBEJU side. I'm not still taking
the only way I put my late dad's pension on this. The only way IBEJU will win this game is my mom calls me and said, "Where are you, Shewa?" I said, "I'm at Unilag Sports Center," and said, "Oh, you are here and I want to bowl." I know my mom cannot play cricket to save her life, but my mom comes and says she wants to bowl all the remaining overs. That's the only way IBEJU will win. My mom bowling to the IBEJU batters. That's the only way. Else, I know cricket is biscuit, but this biscuit is a sure biscuit in favor of GCI. And you can see that at this stage you don't need dot balls, but they are getting dot balls. Makes it the more difficult.
The more difficult it is, Sharon. The very difficult it's even piling up for IBEJU.
Or just maybe Sam Emelu coming to bowl.
Sam could still take wickets.
Never.
Sam can still take wickets, Sharon.
Never.
Never rule Sam out of this game.
Never. Can only write and talk about cricket, cannot play cricket. So maybe him bowling the many overs, but when you see how people like Sylvester, people like Ramon, you got people like Isaac also, then it makes it the more difficult. Good bowling.
Give it all, Shil. GCI has done everything technically possible to win this game. We all said it last season, if not because of nature, this would have been a game we would have seen last year. Played up in the air, that has gone all the way to the boundary for 6. Hussein Prosper has returned back to his 6s. He did that in Abuja, and now he is back here in University of Lagos Cricket Oval to play the first 6 of his own innings. Can he continue those 6s he was playing at Abuja?
You can see that the bench of IBEJU are not even jubilant with the 6 he played. Speaks volume of where they think the game is, and it's gone. It's gone.
After that 6,
yeah, Ifeanyi Ubo
played it straight to Ifeanyi.
Gone. And like I said, this is all done and dusted. All done and dusted. Last wicket, am I sure?
8th wicket.
Sure. Okay, 8 wickets.
Mustafa Yusuf going into bat. This is technically the 9th wicket, and after him we'll be having
Isiaka Audu.
Isiaka will be the last wicket.
And you have to say that GCI have fortified rather than lost players. they only lost one person, and that's Joshua Yonaike, former Nigerian captain and wicketkeeper, who is out of the country. But they've added bodies, quality bodies, and you look at the names. Kuforola Lukman was awesome when he was opening batting. Juma Abdurrahman, we know what he can bring to the table, former FCC player. Ifeanyi Ubo, player of the match in the World Cup that Nigeria attended for the very first time against Japan in that playoff game. And you see how people like Okene David, who have not gotten game time, Omolewa Shegun has to contend with the bench. Kehinde Becky is also a good player, he has to contend with the bench. So plethora of superstars to actually pick from.
Appeal for Nick, yes, given. Mustafa Yusuf has just lost his wicket at this point in time. Show it's safe. You can see, I think he just gave up. From his posture, you can see he's smiling like he just gave up his wicket.
The job of Mustafa is bowling. Mustafa really is not a batter. He is a tail ender, but there are some tail enders that have shown to be very stubborn people. But hey, this is all but gone. All but gone. Surely we'll talk to the two captains. I'm sure this is not the way Chuma Akachukwu wants to start his captaincy, and I think that for Isaac, it must have been a perfect way to start his captaincy.
It's gonna be one defeat, one victory for Chuma Akachukwu.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be 2 victories for for Isaac Okpe.
I think once a shared game.
It's 2 victories. If a shared point is still a victory, you still remain unbeaten.
Can we call it a victory when you share points?
But we could look at it from the angle he didn't lose the game.
No, you could say that there are 2 games unbeaten, but we can't call that a victory because they share the points. So for IMCC also, they'll be saying to themselves that I haven't played 2 matches, we drew 1 and then we lost 1.
Dayo Gumbayo coming from the way out end, the last wicket of the game. And ladies and gentlemen, there is no other way to end the game than a perfect yorker bowled by Dayo Ogunbayo to end the final break of shackles of GCI against IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club.
This is total domination. This is total annihilation. This was an awesome and a comfortable victory for GCI, and what a perfect way to end the unbeaten run of their big rivals in IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club. Ladies and gentlemen, from the UNILAG Cricket Oval, venue for today's game, it's been a comfortable victory for GCI over IBEJU.
It's all smiles. You look at the smiles on GCI's face. Those guys knew that they put in a lot of hard work to win in this game, and you could see. But hey, it's just 1 leg out of 2. The big question is, what would happen the second leg?
Well, we keep our fingers crossed, but one thing is for sure, we'll try and get the 2 captains talking, and then who do you think will be the player of the match for today's game?
It's definitely between Vincent and Isaac Okpe. Both players took charge of the game. Vincent scoring 27 off 9 or 10 balls. So it's definitely going to be a good one for the side. Congrats to GCI for breaking the shackles of technically 12 years of cricket. Lost 8 games from IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club, but now it's a tough call as IBEJU LEKKI has just lost its first game. Apologies, has just lost the first time in 8 years. I was just trying to get that statistics.
All right, welcome back. The game done and dusted. Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club laying down the marker, winning by 83 runs over their bitter rivals IBEJU LEKKI Cricket Club, and also ending their unbeaten run. With me here at the commentary position is the captain of Government College Ibadan Old Boys Cricket Club, a national team player, Isaac Okpe. It's a pleasure having you at the commentary position.
All right, thank you very much. The privilege being here.
How excited are you about today's victory?
We're really excited because we worked as a team, we played our best, and our best was good enough to beat IBEJU as a side.
What was the turning point in today's game?
The turning point was the batting, because I know we have a couple of good bowlers in the side. So I felt if we could have get a total of 150, 160, 170, it would have been an easy game for us to win. And we got to 152, and we were able to defend it with the good bowling side.
Isaac, people have said that GCI is now a compact side. You only lost one player who travelled outside of the country in Joshua Yonaike, former Nigerian international captain, but you have added more bodies. Abdurrahman Jimon has come in from Foundation Cricket Club. You have Koforola Lukman, who has also come in from Government College Ugeli. You still have Vincent Adewoye. You know, you have a very quality side in your fold. That alone is a good sign for IBEJU.
Yeah.
For GCI, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, it is, because now we have more younger guys in the team. Like if you check from the openers to the tail end, we have young guys who are aspiring to play for the national side. So they are willing to give their best. So with their best, it's easier for us to win the league.
Before I let you go, Isaac, this 83 runs victory beating IBEJU comfortably, has it put GCI under pressure? Because a lot of people will now be watching you guys that, hey, watch out for GCI, they are a formidable side.
To be sincere, we're not under pressure. All we need to do is we need to enjoy it. The more we enjoy it, the more we keep winning. So it's easy stroll for us now. The remaining games will be strollable, but we are not dropping our shoulders. We'll keep playing as hard as we can till the end of the season.
Captain Isaac Okpe, you notch up your first victory in a convincing fashion against IBEJU. I'm sure you are very excited.
Very, very excited.
And what message you have for IBEJU again?
Well, hard lines to them. We are coming harder. Second leg will come more harder.
Thank you very much. All right, I just spoke to a national team player and one of Mr. Reliable. His name is Isaac Okpe, the elder brother of Sylvester Okpe, and Vincent Adewoye, a national team player, also will join me. And I was asking that question prior to Vincent coming into bat, that Vincent Adewoye has got talent and all-rounder. He needs to justify why they brought him from Government College Ughelli to GCI, and he answered me in a spectacular fashion. Vincent Adewoye, congratulations on today's victory.
Thank you very much.
What was going through your head when you were knocking those sixes and playing Mustafa Yusuf all over the place?
Okay, right from time I've been very close to beating IBEJU. I've never had the chance to beat them since. But I've been very, very close a couple of times. But today I had this. I told my teammates since yesterday I just want to just play. Like I had a bad season last season, so I had the bad games. So I told myself I was going to back myself up, and no matter what comes, I'll be very comfortable within my team. So I just had them in mind.
Vincent, this victory was huge in all ramifications. You bowled very well, GCI fielded very well, and you batted extremely well. This sign, is it a sign that we need to take GCI serious as this season starts?
Yes, you should. You should be very careful of us. We are coming out. We're not relenting. From now on, we keep pushing out, and I'm very sure we are ready for the league. We're not joking.
What more should we expect from all-rounder Vincent Adewoye?
I promised myself a good season. I had a very bad one last season, so I'm just coming back hard.
Congratulations, Vincent Adewoye.
Thank you very much.
And if you had the opportunity, before I let you go, to give the player of the match to one person, will it be Vincent taking it, or you want to give it to the captain of the team? Because both of you had a fantastic innings in the first inning.
No comment.
Diplomatic way of answering me, he said no comment. That was coming from Vincent Adewoye. And about me, any moment from now, we should get to feel the pulse of Chima Akachuku. That is, if he's going to make it in good time to talk to us, because as we speak, they are currently warming down. But you heard the guy speak.
Yeah, Sean, you're right. I heard the guy speak, and on our screens we'll soon show how IBEJU are currently having a discussion. Yeah, you have it on the screen. You can see the IBEJU Lekki side having a discussion on how today's game went and didn't go their way. So what question they'll be asking themselves is, what did we do wrong? What do we have to do to be able to approach the game coming the following games they have actually? And they'll be asking themselves, how best can we approach to defend this game, Sheil?
And about me, one key thing in today's game is that 5 of the players for GCI had double figures. I'm seeing 17, I'm seeing 32, I'm seeing 27, I'm seeing 26, 24. These figures were very, very important and instrumental in their victory, as compared to what happened in the second innings for IBEJU Lekki Cricket Club.
Yeah, definitely, Sean. But what I would love to see will be the approach of IBEJU Lekki Cricket Club throughout the rest of this season, and most especially the second leg, which will be at Tafawa Balewa Square Cricket Oval sometime in December later this year.
I'm sure that one team that GCI also want to conquer is Rising Stars Cricket Club.
Definitely.
They beat them twice last season.
And they lost, and Rising Star has lost one game this season.
Yeah. So what a game we have on our hand.
Yeah,
so if you are able to still catch up with Chima, so be it. But if you are unable to catch up with Chima, I tell you what, this has been an awesome game. It had so many intrigues, and one of such is the 18th and the 19th over. I will never forget in good time.
16 runs, 25 runs.
16 and 25 respectively. Sheye Olimpio, 16 runs. Mustafa Yusuf, 25 runs in the 19th over. What a story.
Let's not forget the two batters who played it. Isaac Okpe was the 18th.
Yes.
Vincent Adewoye was the 19th.
Fantastic. Awesome. Yemi, I think we have to leave it at this because the guys from IBEJU are still having their meeting. It's a worthwhile meeting after being beaten comfortably by 83 runs. You need to have what looks more like an ASU and federal government meeting. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say big thank you to our sponsors, Honorable GBOLAHAN YISHAWU of the Lagos State Assembly, representing the Theatre 2 constituency.
And let's not forget, our drink sponsors.
Yeah, CWAY, fantastic. They said everywhere you go.
You could see their stand right
They
there.
stand right there supplying us with all the drinks and the water. We also want to say a big thank you to Pet Foundation for their support. Thank you to CCC Foundation for giving us the balls. So thank you to Nigerian Cricket Federation. Thank you to the Lagos State Cricket Association. To the groundsmen, thank you for a good job. And to our umpires for today, umpire Ken Olambiwonu, internationally and globally recognized umpire. We want to see you more at the top. And of course, umpire Wale Adekoya. And of course, the match commissioner who has done a tremendous job in Yemi Adegbola. I was telling you that the little bird inside of me saying that Yemi will not be ready for the second game. He has to complete his job as the match comes. The second game we are about to see will be IBADAN Metropolitan Cricket Club, who have won one game. Who have lost one game and drawn the other against Foundation Cricket Club, who are yet to have a feel of any cricket game this season. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Yinla Cricket Oval, it's been Abayomi Ayonusi and yours truly Oluwaseun Ajidagba. The scorer is also agitating for publicity, Ramon Adelaku. We recognize you. Thank you, Ramon. God bless you. And of course, the person who ran the board also, thank you very much. His name usually eludes me, but what I remember him for is that Igbobi defeated Pioneers, and that's all that matters.
All right then, ladies and gentlemen, it's goodbye from all of us here, and have a lovely week.